And what else we got? We got a whole bunch of stuff here. So, anyways, I think it's going to be a pretty quiet day because we're still focused on the big stocks that are moving. Yesterday was all about AMD, wasn't it? And today, AMD's not doing much, but it seems to have settled. I mean, it's got more volume than normal, don't get me wrong, but it seems to have settled. We've decided now that AMD is a $200 stock again. So, all right, here we sit. So well done, AMD. If it can hold this level, now we'll see. Last time it was here, it only held this level for 2 days. 2 days. That's as long as it was in the $200 range, and that was about 19 months ago, back in March of last year. So we'll see if it can stay up here longer. This would be day two of it being up in this space. So I assume that we're going to hold it. I mean, it feels like it should reasonably hold above 200 like it did yesterday. If it drops, I mean, well, as you guys know, it's got it's got a lot of room to go down, right? I mean, that increase yesterday was huge. So, we got another $30 this thing could drop in free fall because there is absolutely no shares exchanged in the last, 18, 19 months in that space. So, we'll see what happens. Anyways, but yeah, I still think AMD is going to be fun. And then of course in our header we've got Tesla, which we'll talk about. Well, we could talk about a little later because Tesla's on our gap. Oh, it's not on our gap down list. Why is it not? Oh, I see. It's not gapping
So
down by
yeah,
more than 2%.
yep,
So, but yeah, we can talk about that when we get to the gap down stuff.
yep,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, we did have the question. Jared asked me the question yesterday. Am I going to drink? That was a one-time thing. The very first time we hit 200, I said I would do that, and I tell you guys, I regretted that for the rest of that day, only because having scotch at first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, oof, I was like, I was buzzed. Normally, I can drink lots of scotch. I tend to, you know, have a very generous pours here at home. But yeah, that little that wee dram really took me down on that day. So in any event, I think I made the commitment if it when AMD hits 500, I will do that. Well,
That's
until I
fair.
get used to it. Well, like I like to say, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So, but I think I'll worry about that another day.
There we go. All right, friends. Quick look at our gappers list. Let's start with here with the first one, GLTO leading the way today. We'll look at the top maybe four because they got some big numbers here. And then we'll hop around to our usual suspects. Obviously, Quantum doing very well today, as I mentioned earlier. And you just got a lot of tickers that we normally don't see here. Dell, PayPal, RZLV has been playing the last couple of days. There's a few on here. IBM, we never see this thing on here. So just tech. It is a tech world that we are in, my friends. It's nothing but tech, 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 and that's just it. I mean, what else do you want, right? So that's what we'll be looking at today. Let's start with the first one. GLTO this morning, we are up a whopping 570% today. As high as
Yeah.
36. We're down now back to 24. This thing woke up today at $3 and something. And just
Yeah.
look at the massive move we're getting. 42 million shares traded. So tons of volume, as you can see here. And man, we are just, Rocket's just going to mute this here. Peter, what's the news, man? This is a big, big pop.
Yeah, it seems a little ridiculous. They had I don't really know what's going on with this. They are a company that it's a biotech, and they are working on treatments for cancer and severe liver diseases. So have they cured cancer? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they did release earnings this morning. This feels like a little much for their earnings. I mean, their revenue was up 5% to 21. This is a small company, right? 21 million in revenue. Their market cap is only like it's only they woke up yesterday. Well, they went to bed yesterday with a under a $5 million market cap. Today, it's yeah, they're 50 million, so they're 10 times that, or they were at one point. So yeah, it's I guess it's a bigger company this morning than it was yesterday. But anyways, on the earnings front, yeah, like they 21 million, 21.8 million of revenue. They improved their margins significantly. It's up 25%. They're still losing money. They lost less money than anticipated. They reduced their debt by paying off about $5 million in debt. So I like all that is pretty typical earnings stuff. It's certainly not worth a 570% price increase. So maybe there's got to be something else going on. If you guys see what that thing is, I'm checking like the Twitterazzi here and Stock Twits just to see what if they've got any news here about what's going on. But I don't see it, Carlos. So I'm not sure. Again, you'd think if they did cure cancer or something, they would be screaming from the rooftop. Somebody feels they know something because 42 million shares traded. This thing is up again 500%. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's yeah. That's the one I want to be in, man. If somebody ever cures cancer, I want to be in that trade early on, very early on, all in, all full buying power. Because if you do that, it's just what I mean.
Yeah.
What else is bigger than that, right? To solve
Yeah.
in this earth. So that's my only ask to the market gods. I mean, if you're gonna do that, please let me and Peter be full power on that thing. Nevertheless, SPRB was on the list yesterday. I keep
Yep.
muting my phone and it keeps dinging. I gotta figure out why is that happening. So SPRB this morning we are up 95%, 760,000 shares traded. Hard to borrow. We saw this yesterday. Had a big day as you can see here. Went
Yeah.
up from about 20 to around 160, and today we is this correct, man? Am I reading these numbers right?
Yeah.
What kind
Uh,
of stuff was in that coffee? 360 is the high, back down as low as 171, back to 250. How do we trade this, Peter?
I have no idea. Like I don't know what's going on with this one either. There's no news, there's no analyst coverage. This is another super low float biotech. I mean, somebody knows something, but the fact, I mean, there's just no news on it. So I don't know. I mean, yesterday the news was about their FDA approval. They got a breakthrough therapy designation for their enzyme therapy. I mean, I don't know, or why are people so excited about this? I mean,
Yeah,
I get that it's interesting for the company, but up again? Like yesterday it was trading 50 to $150. Now we're trading 200 to $350 range this morning. Like what the hell is happening?
yeah.
Anyways, hey, look, these things happen all the time. They're so super high risk. I mean, literally, guys, the range this morning is between 170 and $358. So, make sure you think about the downside risk as much as the upside. Yes, this you could jump in with just a few shares, and this thing could jump from the $240 price it's sitting at now, back up to $350. It could also drop back to 170 or lower, right? I mean, don't forget, 2 days ago, this thing was a $6 stock.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
just be careful.
Man, wild. All right, so I almost want to add this to the list just because I want to see. I want to see
Oh,
where's this going to go. I
yeah.
want to add it to the secondary list for entertainment purposes,
I mean,
SPRB. I mean, we have to
a
watch
lot
this.
lower volume on this one compared to what we just talked about
Mm-hmm.
on the GLTO. GLTO has already traded more volume pre-market than this SPRB did all day yesterday, and we're so yeah. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know, Carlos. It's hard to advise people on these because you have to be an expert, a low float expert, right? And there are
yeah,
people that are very good at this. I'm
yeah.
not one of them.
Same here. Does a popcorn emoji come up? I'll put a popcorn emoji. Let me see if that shows up in the text below. Oh, there it is. Popcorn emoji. So, yeah, entertainment purposes only on those two. Be very, very careful. Again, we're it's just dangerous. All right. And I already have AMD and Tesla. Been talking about those. They're obviously clearly heavily in play. We'll see. When is the test? We'll talk about Tesla in a bit. But do we know when the announcement is, Peter? Do we have any clue what time it is? I haven't seen it.
They've been very sort of sketchy on this, which is not unusual for Tesla, right? Because
Right.
yeah, they've been hinting at all sorts of things, right? Sending out like weird little memes. I mean, I don't know. Usually that when they do this stuff, it's something like 1 o'clock Pacific time, right? So it'll be sort of at or after the market close, usually.
Right.
But they haven't announced any specific time. I don't think there's a big event going. They have suggested, right? They've had a couple of different things the self-driving module came out for the new drivers. They've got a cheaper Model Y version that they're producing to offset the loss of the federal tax credit. So I don't know what that means with a cheaper version. Are they stripping it down? Or are they just figured out how to produce it cheaper? Don't know. Yeah, and you have it on the header here that you put or the cover page you put on our day today. They've been using this spinning black disc, right, with just today's date. So
Yeah,
as far as I know, there's no
cryptic.
details.
It's very cryptic on what's actually going
Yeah.
on here. So we'll
I
we'll
like
see.
that. I like that,
Yeah.
Def. They're gonna put a gas motor in it. That would be
Oh,
that would be something. That would
that'll
be
be
something.
something.
I can't.
If
I
they
don't think
put
so. But
some gas engine in it, combustion engine, Peter will definitely get one. Peter will be first in line to pre-order one of those bad boys. All right,
I
let's see.
don't.
They should try
I
that.
look forward
I
to the day I can get an electric car. I just
Yeah, they should try that.
uh,
See what happens. Just test it out. There might be some buyers for that. All right, so that's Tesla. Since we are talking about it now, I'm gonna sort of look at the chart, Peter, and we'll cover this one now. It is gapping down today, even more so now. The last couple of minutes, look at this. It's been dropping, Peter. It's not been reacting well. So down 1.7, 2.7. I'm sorry, down 1.4, 2.7 million shares traded. Clearly on my list this morning, and again, we'll talk about it some more. Let's see how it looks in a couple of minutes when we get to the gap down list. But definitely in play. One of the headlines today on when this time is going to be. But again, they're keeping it very, very secret. No updates yet on that. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Is going to be LXEO. And this bad boy here is up only 27%, not 400 or whatever, or 600 here. Only 26%, 3.8 million shares traded. Also another low flow sitting at 21 million shares float, but not as active. So again, Lixio Therapeutics, this stocks just don't meet my criteria. We spoke about that yesterday in our onboarding class about stocks meeting your criteria for your strategies that you trade. This one doesn't meet that at all for me, Peter. So I'm gonna leave this one alone. What's your thoughts on it, and any news worth mentioning?
let's see. I was busy watching a Tesla self-driving mode here, trying to figure out what's going on. All right. Anyways, another biotech. It seems to be like all the biotechs are clustering today. Um, but they have a drug in the pipeline. They've been working with the FDA on to get approval. Looks like they've announced they've got positive conversations happening to get accelerated approval for their LX 2006. Oh my God! And I'm gonna try it here, guys. In Friedreich ataxia cardiomyopathy. Hey, that wasn't so bad. So there you go. That's what they're doing. That's why they're up. Yeah, just another one. I'm not going to go anywhere near.
Yeah, and not a big fan. All right, let's continue. Let's see what else we have here. BTQ, and then we'll hop around. I want to take a look at some other ones that we have on there, and of course we'll have to look at ORBs. I mean, this is our thing. We'll have to look at what that's all about. ORBs, all right, yeah, we'll look at it. BTQ Technologies. I believe we saw this yesterday, or at least it was in the list. Maybe I did not tune into it. But again, up 21%, 2.4 million shares traded, coming off of a second day play. No, I'm sorry, possibly a second day play today, as it was active yesterday on the breakout here. I do remember this. It's a recent IPO as well, so we don't have a whole lot of history here. But for a recent IPO, Peter, it's actually doing pretty well here. Not a low flow, sitting at 92 million shares flow. So I kind of like what I'm seeing here. I love when IPOs actually go up instead of just highway to hell. But this one is staying above his IPO price, which is rare to see at times.
Yeah, they're using two key buzzwords here. They're about crypto and quantum. So BTQ is actually a Canadian company, like you said, fairly recent very recent IPO. They just brought on two new people, a fellow named Sean Hackett and someone named Zach Bellatek. Belatesh, I guess. Anyways, who were the co-founders of Radical Semiconductor. They're joining BTQ full time to lead some of their product lines. So I guess some talent being brought on board. And yeah, they are. I don't know. They've got something called Cache, which is a memory-centric acceleration architecture for post-quantum cryptography. Sounds cool, right? Don't know how it actually works, but that's what they're working on.
All right. Mm, there it is. We'll see about that. What else? Let's actually stop here. Oh, no, so I want to look at ORBs. ORBS. Let's look at ORBs and see what's going on here.
Yeah,
This thing is up
just
10.
because of the name, if
Just
nothing
because of the
else.
name, we have to look at it. I mean, this is
Yeah.
insane. Look at their daily. They had some really wild price action in the last month. Look at this going up to 85, right back down to some lows, 10, 20, 15. So again, clearly messy ticker. Flow is 2.6. And this morning, there's really nothing to see. I pulled it out just because of the name. But as I look at this pre-market action period, I mean, it is just pure garbage on here. So nothing to see here.
Yeah, I don't know why they called their company Orbs. It's the name of the company is 8Co Holdings. And they're only here because they are what? They are reinforces their Power of Eight initiative targeting 800 million world coin tokens and verify 8B humans. What the 8 billion humans? What the heck? What I don't know. I don't understand this press release, I have to admit. They're launching a digital asset treasury, okay? So that's good. But the transcript of the launch has got terms that I'm not familiar with. So it says currently over 17 million verified world humans with goal of verifying 100 million in the next 12 months. World is the single sign-on and proof of human verification for the AI era. I I understand every word in that sentence, but in that combination, it makes no sense to me. I don't know what this company is doing. So, yeah, trading it? Absolutely not. Oh, I can't hear you, Carlos, if you're talking.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I was laughing and saying we will leave this alone for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop around to some good stuff, guys. TradingTerminal.com gives you this list available to you, plus other great tools at a very reasonable price. So check it out, TradingTerminal.com. Let's scroll down here. Clearly, tech is all over this, and we see, Peter, tons of quantum tickers on deck this morning. So let's go to quantum. We got QUBT, QBTS. I don't see. Oh, I see Clean Spark. Where is our good buddy? Not Clean Spark, sorry. Where's our good buddy Rigetti? Oh, there it is,
Rigetti?
Rigetti. All right, there it is. Yeah, Rigetti's on here too.
Rigetti's there.
So
Um,
they're on
yeah,
here.
if you
What's
remember,
going on?
Yesterday at this time, pretty much all of the quantum was gapping down, so we were seeing it down. But it made a great recovery, and at the open, didn't it was very choppy at the open. If anybody tried to trade quantum, I was very happy to be in AMD, and I got my trade of the day out of that one. But yeah, Rigetti and all of them, right, were pretty choppy in the opening half hour, but then started to make a move higher and pretty much continued that direction for the rest of the day. So looks like it's starting with a better morning for quantum. Like we keep saying, quantum is always in play at some point. You just got to be careful about, not getting caught in the chop, and you can on any given day. So, it looks good so far this morning. No guarantee. This thing could take off out of the gate. It could drop hard. It could move sideways. It does it all. It seems to be random based on any given day. So be careful whatever you do.
Yeah, I do like Rigetti, and I see you guys mentioning a QUBT, which is another one that can trade very well. I mean, they all had their days, right? We've seen them all do pretty interesting stuff. QBTS is the other one, if I have it right. Yeah, here it is. So they're all looking great today, but kind of Rigetti leads the way, at least kind of the way in that at least for day trading. I don't know about the financials in the back end and which one's better or not, but I do like Rigetti. But today, man, QBTS and QUBT are looking actually pretty good. Um, So yeah, actually QBTS looks better for me. So I'm going to add QBTS to the secondary list just to keep an eye on that as well and see what we can get out of that. QUBT seems to be stuck on the daily. Hasn't really taken off the way you see Rigetti and some other ones play out here. So Rigetti on the main list and QBTS in the secondary for now. And yeah, Quantum all over this list this morning. Pick your favorites out of those. Peter, the next thing I see is a lot of tech companies like Dell. Obviously, MU is on here. AMD, of course, on the list, and some other ones. So let's start with Dell because we never see this on the list, right? So they're here
No.
today. They are gapping up, surprisingly, up 6.8 this morning, 867,000 shares traded. What's moving them today?
They're using some good words. They say they've got very strong demand for their AI server line, and as such, they've raised their guidance both in the next quarter and for the full year. So they said that these AI devices that they're producing have seen a big uptick in orders, and as such, they think that they are going to be able to deliver better than expected results. So yeah, it's rare for Dell to come out ahead of earnings and increase their guidance. So this has got a little bit of attention that's moving them higher. I don't know. It's tough to say how far this will go. It's good news for them. It's a good morning. Um, like you said, we rarely see Dell. It's a NYSE traded stock, so who knows what the market maker is going to do once this thing hits the open market at 9:30. But might be worth watching. It's a possible, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's funny. I'm looking at their website here, man. They are so 1990 to that. You could tell how older this thing looks, right? It's very square and boxy. Not bad. That's a beautiful machine. That's a nice machine there. Um, yeah, look at that.
I mean,
All right.
I've got a Dell Alienware computer sitting under my desk that I'm running off of right now, and yeah,
Yeah,
it looks good. It looks sharp. It's served me well. I got nothing to complain about. My laptop
yeah,
happens to be a Dell too, so they're
yeah.
reliable. They're not exciting, but they're
They're
reliable.
not,
So
but but you can make your website exciting. It doesn't have to look like that. Like, look at this, nice little buttons up here to get to places. Like you don't have to be stuck in the 90s, right? You can come in, put some colors in there. This looks more attractive, right? So I get it. If you're an IT guy, this looks lovely for you. Like you love this right here. If you're a retail user, consumer, you're not gonna attract my daughter to buy anything from you on this website. I'll tell you that right now. So you
fair
gotta,
enough. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta update that a little bit. All right. Let's take a look here. So we have Dell. I'm gonna. You adding it to your list, Peter? Dell today?
Uh, I think I will. I'm going to see what it does between now and 9:30. If it
Okay.
continues this volume, we're at 900,000 shares. A little low, but it is a NYSE stock, as I said. So you expect slightly lower volumes because of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have liked trading Dell in the past, but there's very few days. Like if you do put it on your list, know that you've got an 80% chance of nothing happening and there will not be a trade there. But if it
Yeah.
does, if it does work, then it could be a nice one. So
Yeah. Yep. I
I
agree.
noticed USAR is back on the list today on our gap up list.
Mm-hmm.
It's snuck in there. Remember USAR? This is the rare earth metal, USA rare earth, and there was a rumor that they were going to have a deal with the White House for purchase of part of the company, which would be good for them because then they could, you'd think that it would be beneficial to them, depending on what they need to do next. I'm not sure why it's jumping today. I don't see any confirmation of that happening. But they announced when their earnings are coming out. Oh, Thursday, November 6th. Okay. What a great day. Um, but yeah, I just noticed on the list if you're
Yeah.
interested.
All
What
right.
else we got here? We got a whole bunch of like random stuff, a lot of it around things. CRWV and IonQ right at the bottom of our list there today. These were big. We were watching these a lot, weren't we? A couple weeks ago. I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before. CRWV was bouncing all over the place. Seems like it's
Yep.
calmed down uh, quite a bit. Not doing much pre-market there. And
Yep.
Ion Q had a good day yesterday. Looking at the chart, boy,
It had a
it
great day yesterday. Yeah, look at that
yeah.
there. So it did trade very well. And it's holding its gains, still up 2.2 right now, 1.4 million shares traded. I mean, could be very interesting.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
yesterday's
it.
action.
Other than that,
Yeah.
semiconductors are still in my mind. Again, I mentioned AMD at the outset. It's doing well here, holding on to its gain that it had made yesterday. I mean, now it's a more modest 5% up today compared to yesterday. If you guys remember, it was up a crazy like 35, 40% before selling off some of it. But still up quite significantly from the close on Friday. And I think Nvidia's in play today as it usually is. Yesterday was a tough day to trade Nvidia. I was just laser focused on AMD because all the other semis were just doing less interesting, weird stuff. Although
Hmm.
Micron had an interesting move yesterday. I'm not sure if anybody was out there was watching Micron. I only saw it sort of towards the end of the day. But we were busy talking about other things where it did this like looked like it was going to skyrocket after the open and then just completely reversed path and drop lower. A good $10 move there on Micron if you were able to catch it. But so anyway, semis, keep them on your list, I think, for today. As always, I'm still watching PLTR, Carlos, just because some days it's fun, some days it's not. Yesterday, it did actually give a good rise. There was a decent move higher, but I was focused elsewhere, so I didn't catch that. The rest of the day, not so interesting, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yep. This pre-market today looks pretty good on POTR. We were in the red here, down as low as 178.10, and now we're up at 180 into the green. So again, some really good moves here in the pre-market. Might be worth watching today. I'll add it here to my list. And POTR has become one of our usual suspects. It's such a nice stock when it trades very well. So clearly want to keep an eye on it. All right, let's that's kind of the gap up, Peter. You cover some of the semis that are on here, Nvidia, which I'll probably add as well to the list. Core we looked at. Trying to see what else. As far as IBM, even IBM is here today. What's the deal with IBM? Up 2.8, 485,000 shares traded. Again, another IT loving computer here. Peter, is it similar to Dell or what's going on?
Good old IBM. Well, a couple things happened this morning. There's always, news coming with IBM. Big Blue is still, the big powerhouse out there, especially with their corporate clients. So two things. They announced a partnership with an AI company called Anthropic. So they're going to be integrating the Claude AI into IBM's software portfolio. Claude. Anyways, Claude is apparently going to be integrated in their IDE, as they call it, their integrated development environment, which they provide to their again corporate clients. So that's significant for Anthropic as a company, but I don't think Anthropic is publicly traded, so we can't jump on that bandwagon. But anyways, it's going to be going into a section that they've been working on called their architecture for secure enterprise AI agents with MCP. Anyways, whatever that is. But they've also announced that there are making commercially available what they call their Spire Accelerator. And their Spire Accelerator is supposed to be like supercharging your um, chipsets to be able to better utilize AI interfacing tools. So it's basically an AI accelerator.
Yeah.
So a couple things out of IBM. Look, pretty technical on that side. Is it going to move the company? You never know with IBM. Again, it's one of those things that I used to trade more regularly. And when I say used to, I'm talking about 5, 6 years ago, because it was moving better. Now it typically doesn't do very much. it's a hard trade. So looking at the under 500,000 shares, it looks pretty boring to me.
And AI has become a very important word. I mean, just look at this. How many AI,
Yeah.
AI?
You,
There's not one page or one sentence without AI in it.
I know.
It's
I
just
know. It's
insane.
and
It's a new world.
AI
Yeah,
is a lot like I when I was in IT, big data was the big buzzword at the time,
yeah, yeah.
and then like we get these buzzwords and people start big data. They put big data on everything. Oh, I got a big data set, so it's big data. Well, technically it's not. Big data by definition had certain requirements around it, right? Like AI has got actual requirements as to what it means, but we'll call anything AI, right? Like everybody wants an AI engine, everybody pretends that they've got AI whether they do or not, right? I mean, we've had bots roaming the web forever. They're not AI. They work on a set, they can sort of answer your things. I mean, you guys know that you can go and get an automated engine to, hey, I'm here to help you, right? Customer support agent out there. Now they're relabeling it AI. They haven't, anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Look, everybody's using the buzzword. So, it at a certain point, and I think we're at that point. This is just Peter's opinion here, grandpa rant, but it loses its meaning, doesn't it? Like when everybody uses AI on everything, you're like, whatever. It doesn't have much meaning or value anymore, right? But it's still, if it still moves your stock, then why wouldn't you, right? Like if you're a company, you keep throwing it in there. If you're going to get a percentage boost on your corporate valuation, use the term.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Oh, Clippy, good old Clippy, the original AI,
That's right.
Clippy, who
he
everybody
was
loved to
he
hate.
was so ahead of his time. But yeah, there it is.
Everybody hated it's funny because Microsoft could have really dominated that segment. They had a great idea. They made it too aggressive, right? It
Yeah.
was
Yep.
just too politely aggressive. Hey, it looks like you need help. Go away. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it didn't pop up every 8 seconds, it looks like you need help with. I just leave me alone, Clippy.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Anyways.
That's how it is. All right, friends. So that kind of covers our gap up. Again, very tech heavy. Pick your favorites out of this one. There's some that are just, even though we like them, we might like them IBM, Dell for maybe some swing trades and stuff like that. They're just not great intraday trading stock, but I am going to watch Dell today because it does look pretty interesting. It is on deck this morning. Gapping down, we don't have a whole lot. We have AEHR. We'll start there. This is down 18% this morning, 394,000 shares traded. So taking a little bit of a beating here. Normally does not trade very well. Very light on volume on the daily. I have no interest on this whatsoever, given my list and the other things that we can possibly add on to this are going to be better. So, Peter, we could skip right through this unless you have something to add.
No, it doesn't look good to me either. So yeah,
Okay.
we can move
All
on.
right. We'll move on. ASTS, this comes up all the time. Look at their daily, Peter. I mean, it's been just wild here. Lighter volume than what we're used to seeing from a stock that's moving from $52 to 75, back down to 68 today. But man, it just seems to just have these wild moves. Today we're down 5.9, 1.3 million shares traded. I gotta admit, I have not watched this long enough to see how it's trading and if it's really providing any opportunities. But they seem to just be rocking on the daily, at least part of September and so far all of October.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we still don't have our echo, but this is all about
Oh, the echo! I forgot about the
space.
echo.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, ASD Space Mobile bringing you your cell phone coverage service from space. So this weekend, I was at a friend's cottage, right? And I had a great weekend, and my phone automatically connected to my provider service. So I'm with Rogers. And so in Canada, we basically have two large cell providers. There are others, but it's basically Rogers and Bell, right? So Bell Canada and Rogers. Rogers used to be the cable company, and now they've gotten into all sorts of phone services and other digital services. And Bell used to be the telephone company that has also expanded into TV and internet and all sorts of things, right? So, and I've got both of them running in my house. But anyways, on my phone, I had Rogers, and they said, "Hey, we've automatically connected you to our satellite service." And when I was out, I've been going to my buddy's cottage for decades now, for like 30 years, and we've never had coverage. My phone just worked. Now, it said you won't get video and you probably won't get other things, but my text services worked, and cell service was connected, and I believe that they are using Starlink. So, which is what is really running the back end. So Rogers has partnered with Starlink to provide this at a beta, and then they'll charge me for it later if I actually wanted that connection anywhere type service, but they'll do it through my cell phone plan. AST Mobile, though, they had jumped up based on news last week that they are partnering with Bell, the other Canadian provider, to provide their direct-to-cell satellite services. So it looks like ASTS is putting together they're getting their customers and partners in place. And we may have competition here for Starlink. Starlink was first out of the gate. Elon, another area that he's done good work at sort of moving forward ahead of the pack. He's done this several times in different segments, from, EVs and Tesla, which really revolutionized that industry, and everybody's, still chasing to catch up on, to his Starlink, to, of course, his space travel, right? So he's, you can't say that he hasn't helped move the needle in a lot of segments, but ASTS is looking to try and catch up and even leapfrog what they're doing. So we'll see how well they do. Like you said, it was up yesterday. It seems to be gapping down today, but it's been in play. I mean, the volumes have been increasing. Still not huge. Like, we're only talking about 12, 13 million shares on average. Yesterday, they did slightly over that at just about 15 million shares traded. Sorry, 16 million yesterday. So in play, but it's more of a, depending on how you feel about this, it feels more like a longer term play than a good intraday momentum based trader.
Reading the comments in chat, Ben, you're funny. Ben has got some comments on YouTube. He's like, "Wow, Peter's saying something nice about Elon. What is the world coming to?" I don't think you ever dislike. I don't think you ever disliked
what he's
Elon.
done.
Yeah, I don't think you ever disliked him.
I mean, I don't have to agree with some of his views recently, but I can acknowledge when he's done good stuff, and there's definitely been good stuff.
Yeah, so he's done well. He's done well. Let's take a look at the next one on here. SCI this morning. What do we have here? Up, down. This is garbage, man. Down 5.4, 328,000 shares traded. I mean, there's really nothing to see here. So we'll leave this alone, Peter, unless you have anything to add. Doesn't look good.
No, the secondary offering, not worth talking about.
Yeah. ACHR also, again, down here 4.6, 6.6 million shares traded. Had a big day yesterday. And the day before, actually. So two really big days compared to what they do normally on the daily. And today just giving some of that back. And look at yesterday's after hours session, right? So they moved up pretty well with the last two trading days. This would have been Friday and Monday, yesterday. And then after hours, they had this big move. Is this earnings or something? Seems very strange to have these moves after two really big days here after hours. So not sure if it's earnings or anything else, but you can see here they're moving on something.
No, yeah, it was sort of industry news. People were that move there was sort of the suggestion that Tesla might move into the space, but that was rumor. Tesla's neither confirmed nor denied that rumor. But as you can see, the rumor hit, and then people realized, well, it's just a rumor, and you can see that the stock dropped and ended up back where it started, right? So that's really what all happened there. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, not much coming off this gap down list. Everything, all the actions on the gap up for the most part. So we'll leave that alone. Matt Prop says, Peter, if you ever say something positive about crypto, then that means you have been replaced by a robot, and we should check what's going on. So we will definitely check his temperature if he ever says something positive about crypto.
I love crypto. Crypto is the best. Everybody should invest their money in crypto. all
There
day.
you go.
I, I, I,
The glitching starts.
yeah.
See sparks coming out of his neck there. Um, Friends, let's jump right into what you guys like. Well, Peter, before I go there, what do you like on the gap down or anything else, and then we'll look at what our team, what our members have on both sides, chat and
Yeah,
YouTube.
nothing that we haven't already talked about. Tesla's gapping down here this morning. I think it absolutely should be on the list. We need to take a look at it. Actually, maybe Apple. We didn't talk about Apple. Apple made some weird moves yesterday, moving down right at the open and then recovered it all and then sold off again, but just in a much slower fashion. So, yeah, I mean, I like watching Apple just to wait and see what it's going to do. Yesterday was just odd. I sort of was watching that out of the corner of my eye, but it said was so focused on AMD that I didn't do anything about it. But maybe today, you never know with Apple. So
You never know.
that's it.
Um,
That's like it.
all right, cool. Let's take a look at what you guys like, friends. Let's start here. Yes, PayPal. I actually wanted to look at PayPal earlier because it is on our gap up list, and we haven't. We used to actually trade this quite a bit. It used to
Yeah.
trade very well. Even when it gapped up, it gave us a lot of good movements. It was this one in Square. Was Square SQ? Is it changed now? What was the
Yes,
Square ticker?
they've
I'm going
changed
back
their
now.
the company name, and I
What is
can't
SQ?
remember for the life of me.
Yeah, so
XYZ?
SQ
Really?
XYZ, really?
Really? I said the
XYZ,
same thing. Oh yeah, Block. Right, because they changed their name to Block.
and
I
then
didn't
they
know their
changed their
ticker
ticker
symbol was
name.
XYZ, but they're apparently right. Look at that. It is,
Look at that,
yeah.
it's garbage now. Nobody
Okay.
wants to trade this. Yeah, so I used
Yeah.
to, with those two used to be hand in hand, man. Really good trading tickers back in the day. PayPal, Peter, what's going on with them? They're moving. They usually don't do that.
Yeah, they usually don't. They are. Why are they moving? I don't know, man. They've announced a ads manager for small businesses with no upfront cost. A new software tool that looks like they're trying to compete with a Shopify type solution. Um, I don't know. That doesn't seem like enough to really warrant a big increase, but they are gapping up about 5%, like you said. I don't know. Like we used to have a lot of fun trading it, so maybe I've got a little bit of a soft spot, but it doesn't look all that great. The pre-market action looks a little spotty to me. Maybe, I mean, I'll put it here, but I just for nostalgia, but I don't think it's going to do much today.
Yeah, yeah. Not a big fan
Why
either.
did
All
this
right,
not hit our list? Why was it on our gap?
no, it's on
Is
there.
probably the ATR is too low.
No, it's
Oh,
on
is
there.
it?
It's yeah,
Oh no, the
it's
ATR
right
is
under
a
AMD
buck
now.
90 something.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
right
there
under
it is. Yeah.
AMD.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's just a lot on this list, but yeah, it
Yeah.
snuck in there. Um, I meant to talk about it, but completely forgot. With all the other ones that look much better this morning. All right, friends. What else? What else you guys
Right.
have today? Looking at our YouTube chat and also our main chat, I see XYC. We looked at FIG. Figma Incorporation or Incorporated. I don't know. I see here up 8%, 1.4 million shares traded. It is moving clearly in play this morning, and the daily has seen some action recently. Yesterday having one of their biggest day as far as volume. So yeah. Oh, this is recent IPO or something.
Huh.
Yeah. So recent IPO up to 150 ish, and then right back down to 50 and up again. Man, this is wild. What's the float on this thing? This is a wild ticker here that we're seeing. So just checking the flow on Fig. I can't find it. But yeah, Peter.
Figma software, their float, yeah, 50 million. I see 50 million shares in the float. So
Yeah. Is this the that's not the no, it's not that. Never mind. I'm thinking it was the camera lenses, but there's no way this could be it.
no,
That thing's been out for a while. Yeah. Um
software.
yeah, I don't know about this one, guys. Again, it is in play, no question. Just be careful how you decide to trade that one. All right, let's do two more, and then we have to head over to community events and
What?
announcements. We'll do. Go ahead, Peter. You have one?
Well, we were talking PayPal. It led
Yeah.
me down a little rabbit hole where apparently a former PayPal executive named Dan Schulman was just announced as CEO of Verizon. And if you look at Verizon's ticker, apparently that didn't go over well. That just happened yesterday, and VZ, their stock price dropped a couple of bucks yesterday on that news. So that can't make you feel good if you're Dan Schulman or the board. But apparently it caught everybody by surprise because Verizon is a much different company than PayPal, but I guess he interviewed well. So, yeah, just
All
made
right.
me caught on to that.
Yeah. All right. There it is. Um, All right, friends, let's get over to community events announcements, see what's happening there. Also, we have special guest Steve Goldstein today, so um, make sure you check that out. He's going to be on at 11 a.m. with Thor. I'm just going to post this here, but here it is. Thor's going to have him on later today at 11 a.m. So that should be a very, very interesting session there. But all right, let's get over to bearwithtraders.com where you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. You click on webinars, and Peter will take you through what's taking place here.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, strategy and trade book day. So if we start with the stuff we have in the middle of the day, our trade book session with Phil goes at 11. Our DOS Trader Pro setup. So if you want to understand how to best leverage that tool, Brendan talks about that at noon. The noon session's in the onboarding room. The 11 session with Phil's in the webinar room. And then we're back to the webinar room tonight at 8 p.m. Where Jared's going to be leading the session, talking about how you can use market profiling for your day trading. He's going to leverage the tools to their max and help you understand how you can take advantage of that. So it'll be a technically focused session. And as you guys probably know by now, Jared is very structured and organized. It will be a great session with some good tips on how you can leverage it for your own trading. So if you're an elite member, you don't want to miss that at 8 o'clock tonight. So 11, 12, and 8 are our 3 sessions for the day. If you want to join us, as always, bearbulltraders.com, scroll down to the bottom of any one of the main screens and you can see the different membership options. Pick the one you like. And if you want data, trading data, we'll keep sending you to tradingterminal.com. And we noticed that some of our competitors actually use tradingterminal.com as their primary news source. We were talking about that as a team yesterday, which we thought was pretty interesting. So yeah, it's a great tool and it's starting to get wide usage within the market, and we love that because it's intended to be for active traders. It's designed by one of the most active traders and most profitable active traders out there in the world, and our very own Dr. Andrew Aziz. And he's put together this with all sorts of cool tools like the Atlas tool we've been talking about, which is a volume and order visualization tool. You've got the scanners that we use here to do the pre-market. You've got obviously your economic data, your news. There's tons of stuff in there. The Learning Academy, Professor Doctor. Oh, he wants to be
Yeah, I
called.
just saw that.
Sorry,
Professor
pardon
Doctor
me,
Andrew
Professor Doctor
Aziz.
Andrew Aziz. Yes, sir.
Get it right,
Anyways.
Peter. Get it right.
Yeah. No. My apologies. I don't want to, shortchange you on any of your titles. You've earned them. So, and as while there's no formal title available for trading, he has earned the title Professor Doctor of Trading as well. I would argue that is granted by the virtue of his bank balance. So,
Mm.
and there's no arguing with that. If there's anyone out there in the world that's a Professor Doctor of Trading, it is Professor Dr. Andrew Aziz. So there you go. Hereby granted in front of all of you. We ratify that. No certificate available, but
I,
you know,
I
you can
feel
add
like
that
you
to
have
that
to
business card.
you had to like slam something when you said that. It was like a court order. It felt like I was
Yeah,
missing for you to grab, just slam something and just kind of make it official. So we got to get you one of those things
hereby
for.
anointed.
Yeah, I
I
feel
need
like
to get like
some sword or something,
need some
Peter.
sort of trading sword, and we can anoint him here. I hereby anoint you, Andrew
Yeah.
Aziz. There
Now
you
now
go.
it feels
Anyways,
complete. Now it feels complete.
can't shush
All
my phone.
right.
Anyways.
All right, friends. Let's get to it. Let's get some levels in place. What do we have here? We have AMD, which has been just purely incredible. So in play today again, high of the pre-market, we're looking at 214.98. Call it 215 if you like. 207 is the low of the pre-market. 207.10 will slam on there. Once you do that, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days got you covered there. Yesterday we had a big range day, and it's just like we predicted. The sell-off, we said it's going to sell off, but it's still going to stay up and hold the majority of this gap up, and it did. It stayed above 25% at the close. So today it's still seeing some of that. And I think we're just below all-time highs. We're well below it now, but all-time high sitting around the high of yesterday's daily range. So that is your all-time highs there. So definitely in play. We'll see what it does today. I think there'll be some more action coming out of that one. Of course, Tesla with their big news today, their big reveal. Nobody knows the time. It's like a hush-hush secret. So we're just waiting to see when that is going to happen. We know Elon posted his little spacesuit, Iron Man spacesuit, while he's smoking on X. And we'll see what happens. Surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, we have a level at 462. 23. I think once you do that, you don't really have to add anything else. I think this looks pretty good here as far as Tesla goes. Maybe the low of the day at 445.20. Once you do that, you're set on there. Rigetti doing some work today. Rigetti, and not just Rigetti, because usually it's Rigetti on its own. You have Quantum, QUBT, and QBTS as well, moving nicely today. Rigetti is the one I'm going to look at. I also have QBTS on my secondary list. They look a little bit better than the QUBT, and there's some other ones you could look at today, but clearly the sector is moving. High of the pre-market 44.15. We'll slam one there, and then towards the bottom we're looking at 42.05 is the low of the pre-market, and highs and lows for the last 2 trading days down here. And I also want to believe this is all-time highs. I have no reason not to, and it is. So again, all-time highs in PLTR, so nothing above that pre-market high at the moment. Let's take a look at the next one. Is going to be PLTR. So PLTR, PLTR is okay. Yes, it had a big move at the beginning, then went sideways. You can see the daily, not as clean as some of the better days we looked at. And as far as levels, I mean, you have everything, highs and lows, previous day close. We're kind of stuck in this range at the moment. I am going to mark down the high of the pre-market over at 180.88, and once I do that, you're pretty much set. Your low is from the low of yesterday, and then you got tons of other levels on here as well. Do not need to add anything else. Peter, we got less than 2 minutes here to switch over. What is the latest and greatest with what the team is watching?
Yeah, let me go quick. Starting with the good Professor Doctor. He's going to be watching Tesla, AMD, FIG, QUBT, Rigetti, and QBTS. His sidekick and spirit animal Brian. The Brian Pesum will be there. The Prophet of Profit will be trading Tesla, PLTR, RGTI, QBTS, GLTO, and of course the market indices. Everyone else, you can look at what they're trading. They've got it listed in the alerts on the website. We'll hand it over. We're running late today. Off you go, Brian. And I like Professor Doctor. Off you go.
There it is. Absolutely.
My favorite new term. I like it. All right. Get my headset on so I can hear.
All right. I'm doing the same. And very good. Okay. Let's switch over. Our 1 minute. Get our 5 minute at the
running
bottom.
Late today. Look at us, man.
There was a lot to go over today. Yeah.
There was. All right.
All right. Let's see here. 1 minute is good. 5 minutes good. Awesome. All right, friends, less than a minute to the market open, 45 seconds. We'll be rocking and rolling here. Scarfin USA, yeah, some people do trade the pre-market. Me and Peter are not pre-market traders. Our strategies work better after the open. But I think Jarvis one that once in a while dabbles in the pre-market, and there's people that also trade after hours on earnings and certain events. But for the most part, pre-market, I don't have any strategies. I used to try to trade pre-market. They didn't work. It didn't work well for me. Did not work well for me. So
no, I'm trying to get more active and better. And yesterday, as you guys saw, I was in 10 seconds after the opening bell.
Oh, it was great, man.
To AMD, and yeah, AMD worked out well. Here's the bell.
Yeah,
right now,
it was great yesterday. Great trading.
Let's see what we're gonna do here today. AMD's heading higher, so.
All right, let's see what's my AMD.
Wow, look at AMD, baby. What's the market doing? The
Atlas
market's
up here.
going the other way.
Sorry, guys. Just got to type in my ticker so the screen will be blank while I type them over on the watch list. QBTS, Dell, secondary.
218, yeah, we got
GLTO.
218 orders.
Here we go. All right, let's see what's cracking here, friends. Yes, Ben, thank you. Like and subscribe, guys. Really appreciate it. It does help the channel out a ton. It really, really does. That is That is close to record highs, man. Almost 1,200 people watching. That is up there. We usually don't get over 1,200, but that is pretty nice. So thank you guys for the support. Appreciate you all being here. All right, AMD doing some stuff. Peter, what are you liking this morning?
I'm here watching AMD. I'm thinking that there is a short opportunity in it. I've gone short. I just took a partial. I'm taking another partial here.
AMD?
Uh, AMD here. I can
Nice.
share it on my screen, I think. Whoops. I just don't want to get stuck here. My entry, I actually got into this and added. I had such conviction here of my short, uh, and I think I've actually Andrew's gone long, so that never.
Not a
We'll see
not
what
a
happens here.
not a
Not
great
ideal.
indicator, but it's an indicator, right? So
No, but
just like all your
yeah,
indicators, you gotta take the
hey,
information and
I'll
see what's
I'll
best.
take his money if that's what it takes. I mean, I'd be happy if we could both win, but
Like yesterday, you
um,
guys both won yesterday. Remember that? So
there we
does
go.
work.
Taking another partial. This is going
Does
well
work.
for me.
Does work. Very nice.
Look at that. Probably should have taken more there as it bounced off of VWAP, but we'll see what it does. See if Andrew's going to get mad at me.
All right, friends. I'm just waiting here. All right, here's the 3 minute mark. Let's see what's moving. Um,
Yeah,
Tesla at
Andrew
the
might win
VWAP
this.
might
It
win
looks
this
like
battle.
it's, yeah, there we go. I just got stopped out on AMD. So,
Oh, Rigetti looks interesting for a short. I like that.
okay. All right. I'm out of AMD. That's okay.
So I'm looking at Rigetti. I like Rigetti for a 5 minute ORB breakdown. I know we have a long way to go here, but there's a lot of selling pressure on Rigetti right now, especially on that 5 minute chart. So we got to just wait to see how it closes. But I do have my eyes
Hmm.
on that. Got to give it a little bit though. So let's see how that goes.
Oh man, I don't
Uh,
know. AMD feels pretty heavy up here. I know Andrew's going long looking for a pop higher, but I'm uncertain. This is out
it can
of
go.
my,
It can go either way here.
yeah.
It can go. It can go either
Yeah.
way. That's a tough call, long or
Yeah.
short. Um,
Yeah, I'm just going to take my money from the opening trade and hold on to it. I do
yep.
wish I'd taken more off at the VWAP when it bounced there, but hindsight, you know, 2020.
No, 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 no,
I,
no,
I, I
Peter.
got I got some money. I won't argue it.
Yep, yep. I want
Okay.
GLTR to. I want Rigetti to hold here. Please don't drop just yet. Let's get a nice. No.
Yeah, QUBT is
Oh,
dropping pretty hard,
wow.
Carlos.
Yeah. It's this thing. Yeah, it's no good anymore. I was waiting for the 5 minute range to finish so I can actually trade the strategy and not just get in on it. But
Tesla, yeah, pop up here. What's Nvidia doing? Nvidia's just at the VWAP. I'm still, yeah, I don't know.
all right, here's a
Yeah.
pullback on Rigetti. So that's good. I want to see the rejection come up here. This might be it. Mm, mm, mm.
Oh, it would be awesome if AMD got a big pop up to 220
Yep.
just on a big volume spike, and then I saw some weakness. That would be awesome for me because that would be a good trade opportunity. I see orders stacking
Yep.
at 219. Let me just see what else have we got here.
So
Let's
I'm
see,
short
219,
Rigetti.
220. Yeah, 220's got some big orders on AMD. It's uncertain as to what it's going to do right here. So I'm not going to get in short right now because I don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
But I think it could go up. Again, that. All right. So you are in Rigetti.
Yeah, I'm sure Rigetti.
Ooh,
Stop is 44,
that's
11, 44. So I want to see if
yeah,
we
it's
can
a
get
tough
the
one.
rejection. Yeah, it is, man. Should have probably waited for
It's
more
it could
confirmation.
work here. Oh,
I
there
like
you
the
go.
selling
That's
pressure on the
good.
5 minute. Like the 1 minute looks crazy, but the
Yeah.
5 minute looks beautiful, man. So let's see. Let's see if we get the
Yeah.
breakdown. Um, at least towards I would love 42.54. There's like a level there. What is this level? 42.54. It's actually might not be anything, but that's what I see on the 5 minute where I would love to get to right here. Let's mark it actually. There it
PLTR
is.
PLTR did a good retest of VWAP and then a push higher. So nice move there. And here you go, Carlos. This is
There it
what I
is.
like to see for you. Yeah.
There it is. So partial there. I don't know what that level is, but it's some kind of level there at the where we had a bounce from. But it looks really weak,
Yeah,
man. It looks really weak.
it does. It does.
So let's see if we could get to 2R, that'd be nice. All right, let's see here. Uh, PLTR 5 minute ORB. We'll check in a second.
Uh,
Okay, here we go.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Rigetti
it
spaghetti.
definitely did.
Rigetti spaghetti.
Good.
Yes.
And so I'm
All
happy to see
right.
this, Carlos, because you've had a rough time of it the
I
last few
had a
days. So,
yesterday was
I mean,
brutal,
it
man.
worked out yesterday. It worked out
I
yesterday,
felt
but as we
so bad
said,
yesterday.
yeah,
Even though I made money, it
I
still
get it.
so crappy. I'm like, I didn't want, I didn't even want to take another trade after that. I don't want to trade. Like, I don't want anybody seeing anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I want to hide. Shame, shame. It's kind of like felt weird. I don't mind losing money in front of people. I do mind breaking my rules and trading the way we did. Oh
Yeah,
man, that was pretty
yeah,
bad. Yep, yep.
yeah.
So two partials in right now. We got to be careful. This stock is strong. And we don't want it bouncing back from the previous day close here.
No,
Uh,
but going, yeah, if it could go and touch or push through the previous day close and go red for you, that would be good.
that'll be
It
good.
does
Yep,
look like
yep.
it's holding in the short term. Hey, let's check the order book here on Atlas and see what
Mm.
RGTI looks like.
Oh yeah,
Where
Atlas,
have we got
Atlas.
orders? Actually, you've got some good size down at 4180, which is just above the previous day close. A lot of orders at 4180, 4170. They're stacked there, so you're looking good to the downside actually. Let me increase the sensitivity here. That's better. Yeah, I
Oh
like
yeah, I
it.
see that. Yeah, I just pulled it up. We're slowly working in Atlas into our
Yeah.
fold here. Like I forget to open it up sometimes, but we're
Yeah.
slowly doing that. Getting
I mean, it's no guarantee of movement, but it does show that in the short term, at least, there's some orders, down there that it's more likely to go get than not. But
mm-hmm.
you just never know what it's going to do. So it is holding here a little more than you'd like, but let's see it drop. I like the look of it. I think you got a pretty good chance, Carlos.
Yeah, yep. I might
It's
see it
gotta. I
coming
notice the
here.
volume is dropping overall, though. You need a little bit more selling pressure to get it to drop. Boy, and this AMD, it's now just going completely sideways.
Yeah.
Hasn't picked a direction yet at all. That makes it tough. Andrew, I know, is long. He's long pretty heavy on AMD, and it's the longer it hangs out here, the higher risk I think AMD feels to me of it going up. But it could, but it could go. Anyways,
My decision point where that I might take, yeah, let me take one more partial in case we're gonna go
uh,
higher. Because my stop now is break evens, right? So I don't wanna give anything back. So let's just reduce
you know what's
our
interesting?
size
I
here.
don't know if you've got the order, the Atlas up. See that red candle you've got up there, Carlos? Oh, it's just
43.90.
yes. Let me see. Yeah, 43.30. See how it ended? That's an interesting statement. Somebody that pulled their order because it didn't get filled. The
Oh
price never
yes,
hit
yeah.
that. It's
Never
just
hit
running
that,
off
yeah.
your screen there now. But
Yep.
this is one of the values you can see in the Atlas tool or the order map where you can see the orders. And here's another one, right? You can see it
Another one
now up
pulled off
higher.
here.
Where yeah,
With
see where they're see
43.90.
how somebody put the yeah at 43.90. Yeah, you can see how they
Yeah.
put the order in, let it sit for a minute or two, and then pulled it off and said, "Okay, it doesn't look like the price is coming up to meet me. I'm going to pull the order and wait."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could be the same order that see if there's one that's higher now at 44.50 that went in at the same time that one got pulled off. So it could be they say, you know what, I'm going to back off this and wait a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Either
Again,
they don't like
does it?
something or something. It's for some reason they're pulling
Yeah.
their orders and all right, we're getting a drop here.
So,
Hopefully we
anyways,
can go 42.10. Seems to be a good area. We can get back down there.
yeah, yeah. See. See what happens here. So this AMD is so uncertain. Conor Getty. Do it for Carlos. Do it for Carlos. GLTO. This GLTO has been halted already this morning.
Yeah, I saw people throwing that out.
It's
GLTO.
and it's halted again for a second time. It's on a halt right now.
Oh, yeah,
So
this is
yeah, yeah,
madness.
it's pretty ugly.
Careful, guys. I know you can make a lot of money on these things, but you could lose so
Yep.
much, man.
Oh
So
yeah.
much, so much.
I mean,
Um,
it's good that it's halted to the top side, so that's
yeah.
good news. And the imbalance right now is right at $30, so that's slightly higher than the halt price, but not by
Mm-hmm.
much.
Right,
Ideally, you'd
right.
want an imbalance number that puts you around 32, 31, 32, because then you've got a little bit of buffer
Mm-hmm.
when the thing opens if you want to get filled. But if anybody's stuck in this, I mean, there's nothing you can do. This thing should reopen in 2 minutes, almost exactly 2 minutes from now. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm watching GLTO just for shits and giggles, as they say,
Entertainment
just
purposes. Yeah.
entertainment
Yep.
purpose. Yeah, I
I'm out
really
of
have
Rigetti.
no.
So I'm out of
Oh,
Rigetti. They come to my break even point.
oh,
So I didn't want to hold it through that, but it looks like it's gonna come here and drop lower. But you know what? It is what it is.
it does.
Because I could see the orders
It
on
does.
Atlas all disappeared. Like these orders are gone. Like we came here, we didn't even fill all of them. We touched it, still stay there, and then it just dropped down from there. So I don't
Now I
think it
still
has a
see the big
chance.
orders down at. Oh no, no, sorry, people just pulled them. They just pulled a lot of the big orders down lower at the 140. Sorry, at 4180.
Yeah,
So yeah, you
yeah,
might be right, Carlos.
yeah. It might
And
just go
again,
sideways here, man. It might
yep.
not give you anything. So
Yeah, 4330 seems to be accumulating some orders. You could again, the order map's helpful to see this so you can understand what's
yeah.
happening. It's not definitive. It's not, going to guarantee anything, but at least it gives you an idea of where the big money is thinking, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
they're trying and they don't reveal everything. They don't show you everything on purpose. They'll show you what they want you to see. So, it's a little bit of game of chicken and egg.
Mm-hmm. Looking at POTR,
Oh,
man. Wow.
yeah,
POTR.
it had a run right off of the retest of
Dang.
the VWAP and yeah, right at 935 there. It was great. I mean, who knew that it was going to move like that? It didn't do it on any special volume either, did it? It
Mm-hmm.
just sort of went. Guys, we're about 5 seconds away from GLTO reopening. If anybody is in that, here we go. Should we open right now? There it is. Reopened right at well, basically just above the 30. Oh, it's good. It's going higher. That's good. GLTO. Oh, see, look at that. There you go. There's the rug pull on GLTO you got to be careful of, right? It was
Mm.
holding at 31.
And it's probably gonna get halted to the downside now too. Watch. It's
Well, yeah, we'll see.
that's what
I mean,
happens. Let's see.
that was a $3 move in a matter of 3 seconds, right? So that's huge, which is amazing when you consider that was the entire valuation of the company just yesterday, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
right? In
risky,
1 minute,
risky, man. Mm-hmm.
it moved. Oh, look at
There's
this.
there's the halt
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
There it
Here we go.
is.
Here's the
Here's
downside halt.
here's the. Remember, guys, we're talking about this
Yeah,
L thing, whatever. There it is.
GLTO. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's the limit down. We were talking about that the
Yeah.
other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that
Yep.
LD number. So they're trying to hold it, but no, it did get halt. It did get halted. So there's the halt in on the downside, and yeah, you really got to be careful about these things. So, and we don't talk a lot about low floats because it's not our trading style. But the third halt is usually the dangerous one, right? So you could trade the first and
Yeah.
second halt if this is your strategy. The third halt you got to be worried about, and of course, especially if it's a third halt to the downside, it probably means that the fund's over. You never know. I mean, it could take off. There's no absolutes in any of this, but typically, this is the danger sign, and GLTO is, yeah, probably just time to move on.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, AMD did finally drop VWAP here. Boy, if only I could have held on to my short through all of that, but I didn't. Oh well.
Rigetti
Okay.
did nothing, so that was the right moves. Just jump out of that. Um, AMD. Oh, AMD below the VWAP.
Yep.
So just mentioned, yeah, nice.
Yep. So still not a big strong move. I mean, considering how much AMD's moved in the last few days, it's been pretty flat today. Got to remember yesterday's close was only 203.70. Now it did spike higher than this, right? Like it
Oh
opened the
man,
day yesterday at around 225, 226. So I mean,
I
I
like
guess
I
it's
like it for a short, but let's see what it
yeah,
does here. I do like it for a short off the
yeah.
VWAP here. So we got the breakdown. I want this pullback to be
It
somewhat
seems
decent, but I don't know. I like it. Let's see what it does. I like it.
yeah, see what it does. It's amazing to me that like yesterday I was short this thing at 223, which is
I
a
know,
little
right?
above this price here. So
Yeah, I see Rigetti going to.
so you made a good call there, Carlos, with those orders
Yeah,
being pulled. Yeah, Rigetti popped up. So what's AMD up to? Ooh, not a
I know.
lot of clarity on AMD.
No, not a lot, but I like it for a short. If at least to maybe 212.58. So he'll be the confirmation candle overlapping the pullback. Let's try it. Let's try it. So short AMD here, Peter, for the BR breakdown. We did get our breakdown a couple of candles. Here's the pullback. Here's the confirmation drop. So gonna go short there. Would love to see this break to if we can get 213 would be amazing. So our stop unfortunately has to be pretty far out. We're looking at a dollar plus. We're looking at 216.50ish, right? So we got to give it
Oh,
enough room.
that's
So
awesome, Carlos. It's funny
let's
because
see.
on my screen that's exactly where I'd marked a stop if I was to enter this. I hadn't decided to
Ah,
get into it, but
nice.
216.57 is exactly. I like the sevens,
Yep.
so I just put it.
You like
But
the
yeah,
seven? Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
You like
why.
the
I think
sevens?
Brian mentioned it a long time ago that he would trade the sevens, so I like to put my
Yeah.
stops ending in a seven for no particular
Nice.
reason.
Nice. Nice.
So here we go. Let's see. I hope you do get the move. I
Yeah,
didn't
it'll be
jump
nice.
in. Maybe I should have, but
Rigetti also went long, friends. If you were watching Rigetti for a reversal or long, it did try break out. He's trying to actually it's trying to break out. He's doing our move too, but you gotta wait for the confirmation. Gotta wait for that first. So patience. Okay,
Wow.
nice
Nvidia is
AMD.
pushing higher. AMD is pushing a little lower.
Uh, let's keep going a little more. Oh, let's pull up AMD on our Atlas. See what else we can spot
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. I've been looking at it on the Atlas. It just took out some orders at 214. So the next
Uh,
area of support is 213.
mm-hmm.
Not much in between.
We need
But
some
yeah,
logos
the
in here. We need some Atlas logo, trainterminal.com, so people know where it's from. Yeah, because people ask, "Oh, what is that tool?"
yeah,
when they're
true.
new, and you need some kind of
Yeah.
identifier on
Yeah, that's
there.
true. That's a good thing to suggest to Andrew.
Yeah. No, I don't. Again, we love how light this thing moves. So if that's gonna cause loading issues, keep it like this, nice and simple. It's like a Nasdaq
Yeah.
car, right? It just works. I love that. Love that. Loads up right away. Simple is best, right? But I'm sure logo's not gonna do anything.
No.
So you
Just
start putting like links to videos, like Thinkorswim does. They put all kinds of stuff, right?
yeah.
I think this is too bright. Uh, that's better. See here, you're not getting much on either side. There's orders on both sides of the field here, so it's not a whole lot to go off. See, there's situations like this where there's not a clear definition on level 2 of long and short. You got the same amount of orders on both ends. I don't see a clear imbalance like we did with Rigetti. Rigetti was very clear. Uh, okay, here we go, friends. So I'm holding out for 213.50, which I do see a little bit of orders. 213.55. What just happened? Deciding whether to take a partial or not. I am going to take a partial. That's a good fill. Those going to get filled higher. So partial on AMD for now. Because again, it's not giving me the warm and fuzzy that we didn't drop right away. So partial here. We'll take another one at around 213. Now we got giant orders, Peter, at 213. So
Yeah, they're
213.
they're
Mhm.
building.
They're
Yeah, they're
building up
building
now.
down here. That's
So,
good. That's what you want to see. And that's a good thing
yep.
that Atlas can show you. Now, interesting how see how a bunch of orders jumped up to 213.50. So I think somebody sort of moved it closer to the price action. They wanted to get
Yep.
filled because you can see
And
how that
notice this, Peter. Like, notice the move from here to here at the same time. See the color change? So you're
Yep.
right. That's
Yep.
exactly what happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, it's pretty nice. All right, want to see if we can go to those 213.75. It's struggling.
We'll see where things go. You end up getting a good
Yeah,
entry there, Carlos. It might
I
come
did.
back up here. You
Yeah,
got to be careful. It might come back and
yeah.
stop you, or at least
Here
get
it is, my
yeah. See,
break even.
yeah.
Let's see if we
That's
drop lower. If we don't, I'll get out. Give it a little bit of room off the break even because it does look weak, but the 5 minute, on the other hand, looks completely different.
yeah.
So, and now see, and there's no big imbalance on the level 2 up or down, so it's hard to tell from there. You're not getting anything there.
No, no, it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't love what it's doing here.
I don't either. Let's do this. You know what? I don't want to completely. I'm gonna take just gonna take maybe half off at break even.
No,
Like
no,
I,
just wait. Hold on a sec. Just hold on a sec. Just
just wait.
give it a second.
Very
Give it a
reduce the
second.
risk, but I
Oh,
don't know. I like what is. I don't like what it's
yeah.
doing. I have a feeling it's gonna go
No,
sell
but
off
it's
some
it's
more.
looking it's yeah, it's looking weak here. I think if you just give it a sec.
All right, let's
Here
give
we
it a
go. Come
second. Let's
on.
give it a second.
Come on.
Here's what we're looking at, friends.
I see the bid. The bid is edging downward. Here we go. See?
Okay, okay,
There you
Peter, you
go.
might be right on this. This is what
There
I
you
will
go.
do.
Let's
I
see.
will
Now,
214. I'll take another partial though. I will do that.
yeah, if it pops back
Yeah,
up to that, absolutely you should. You absolutely should, because then that would break this little pattern here. But if it
uh,
stays,
yeah, yeah.
you know, 214.80 and lower, then you might be okay. But yeah,
I'll
see,
take a partial
it's
here.
getting some yeah, it's
It's
getting some
yeah,
support down here around just above 214. If it can break that though, I think you're good for a strong dollar move lower. Come on.
yeah.
Come on, AMD.
It looks that way. It looks like it wants to go, but man, it's what is this 214 by the way? What do we
Yeah.
have here? Let me mark this.
There's nothing magical
What's
about that number. It
it's
hasn't
not.
traded there a
Um,
lot. Pre-market, I mean, it hung out there a fair amount pre-market
see,
right at this level, if you see there. Yeah.
yeah, see some touches there on the
Well,
daily.
it's a
You do
very
have some
short-term
stuff,
number. Yeah. So
but
here we're
yeah,
back up to this danger zone that I said
yeah. I don't. I'm glad it
I
took a
don't,
partial, man. I don't like it the way it's
yeah,
trading.
good. No.
Glad it took a partial. Um, I think this time it's gonna go. So I am gonna get out break even because you don't get lucky twice. So we'll get out here because it just looks like it's struggling so much.
Yeah,
That was his chance. I think you called it right, Peter. That was his chance to actually break lower and hit this 213
exactly.
12 or whatever 1250.
Yeah.
But it's struggling here too much. So there's a even a better
Yeah.
chance that it might go higher now. So I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
and like it could go either way, but you're right, Carlos. I
Yeah.
mean, this is about risk management, right? And it's not worth it because this thing could unfortunately pop up 50, 60 cents easily, or right
Mm-hmm.
up to VWAP. And then you don't want to be sitting in a red trade, and then you start making bad decisions, right? Oh, well, let me hold
Oh
just a
well,
little
we
bit
saw that. We
longer,
saw that yesterday, right?
yeah,
We
there
saw
you
that
go. Yeah,
yesterday. So
yeah,
you
exactly.
don't
Yeah,
want to
good
do
point,
that.
right?
And give the money
Yeah,
back. Like even though we didn't make a boatload, we have a green trade. You want to give the
yeah.
what you made back. I hate giving my money back.
I know.
Um.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
The GLTO, by the way, guys, that we were talking about earlier, after that third halt, it
Oh
continued to
yeah.
sell off. So we're
Yeah.
back at well, just below the open price of the day,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
still up like, what is this up 500% still? Yeah, it's still up
That's
540%. I mean, don't get me wrong, but if
crazy.
you were, yeah, if you were trying to
Yeah.
get in this anything above 25, thinking, I'm going to take a ride all the way up, you could
Yeah.
be not happy right now. So.
Insane.
Yeah. AMD is really it's messing around here now. So
Yeah,
it's
it's becoming really difficult to trade. Really difficult to trade. And my
yeah.
entry is not even bad. Like, usually when you have a good entry, you can hold through all the pullbacks, but it's pulling
Right.
back, $1 every time to my
Yeah.
entry point. So it's whatever this 214 is holding pretty nice. If I look at the daily, it's really nothing there in the daily. Saw pre-market, um, at least the most recent trading action. So.
I don't understand
Righties.
why I keep thinking why is my quantum not there?
Oh, look at
Should be
this. Look
quantum.
at this spaghetti. Friends, I love this stuff. So you guys know our strategy very well with the VWAP breakout. Look at this. Broke out, never got the confirmation. So you don't jump in the trade. Another beautiful breakout. Here's the pullback. You never get the confirmation. So you don't fall for these, right? Don't fall for this stuff here if you're trading the VWAP breakout strategy. Both of these did not give you, as good as they looked, did not give you the confirmation candle that, hey, we're going long here. Look, they both failed. Never covered the reg pullback. So it's nice to see that. You would have not got caught in that if you traded the strategy the way we laid it out, right? So it's messy. It's trading very messy, Rigetti, I think. So careful on it. AMD looks weak, Peter. As messy as it
It
is,
it it
did you
does,
get in?
yeah.
Did you get in?
No, I
No?
was actually just thinking about getting in just over 214, and I thought I don't want to chase this, but It
Yeah,
looks,
yeah,
but even here, look at this. Look at this move back up. Like it's not consistent. Look at the volume. Look how low
yeah,
and flat that volume is relative to, what it was doing at the open. So it's not an easy trade here. It's probably
yeah,
best
yeah,
to just avoid it at this point. It's mid-range. It would make sense if this thing just sort of took a breather today, didn't go very far. Such a huge day
yeah.
yesterday, of course, with the pre-market gap up and then the sell-off. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm
I
sort of
mean,
very happy to have had my trade so early on AMD, and
look at this.
just I can sit back.
Like every time you think it's gonna run, it comes, finds a way to pull back. Yeah, it's a tough one. So not so
Right.
much the ABCD pattern. I mean, you could look at it as an ABCD pattern. It kind of is, but it's a lot more fine tuned the VWAP breakout, right?
Yeah.
So I have a video on this on YouTube. I think it's available for everyone, so you don't have to be a member of the Lambos and Garbage Truck family. So, but it is on YouTube. Just search VWAP breakout. And I break this down for you, right, on exactly what to look for with some examples. It's the same. Yeah, I don't remember yesterday. I think it was. It might have been the same. Fabio. All right, Tesla. When is the big announcement? We're ready. We are ready. You guys like the the thumbnail today? Yeah, Elon with his Iron Man suit. He posted this on his X account. This is must have done it with AI or something. But we'll see. We'll see what Tesla does on this big reveal day. Yeah, anytime, Five. That's what we're here for. If you have any questions, let us know. We're here to help. Uh, GLTO, yeah, halted. It's a halted. Yeah, it's halted now to the upside. Yeah, this thing is not tradable. Because I mean, what
Yeah,
strategy are you looking
it's
at? It's a tough one, but it's fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to watch these tickers. SPRB was the other one that was in play. Also got halted a couple of times here. Now the volume is just dead. This is the one. I still need to understand what's going on here. We went from uh, what is this? $8 to 150 yesterday. Uh, Today as high as like 300. Now down. It's. I mean, this is crazy. As high as 360 in the pre-market this morning. I don't know how you trade this. Well, I know how you don't. That's how you trade it. You don't touch it. POTR. Yeah, POTR was such a good one today, guys. Beautiful 5-minute ORB. Bounce off of VWAP here. I don't know if I would have taken that 5-minute ORB, but it doesn't look as easy. But yeah, great stuff there. Where do we get alerts off website for moderator tickers? Not sure what you mean. Because we really don't do alerts. We do our preparation like we do in the morning with you guys here, right? Prepare a watch list. And all the moderators put the list together on the chat room, which you can see if you're in chat room. Peter calls them out here.
yeah.
But as far as alerts, like we don't want to be an alert service. We don't want you to just follow our trades, because we know for a fact that you're not gonna be profitable doing that. You're not gonna build a trading plan doing that. But here's our moderators list right today. So here's what Andrew was looking at this morning or looking at so far today. Brian, Peter's list here: Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, and Brendan, Phil, Paris. So that's what they're looking at. All right. Rigetti back down, seeing some weakness. AMD is just that 214 is becoming like a major thing for AMD. Really having a hard time getting through that. What else, friends?
Okay.
Hood. Let's take a look at Hood. Yeah. What would this be? This could be like an ABCD pattern almost, but not really sure. Not any of my strategies here, but yeah, it looks like it wants to go higher after a nice drop down to 142.14. All right. What else? What else, friends? Let's see. Let's see what else we get here. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so, we're sitting at 266 likes. Help us get a little bit higher. 400 is our goal. Once we get there, we're very, very happy. So help us get there. That's our quota that we have to meet on the stream. I feel like once we get there, we've done our part, and then Andrew and Brian can take it from there. Right? So help us get there. Hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying what we're doing. PayPal actually traded not bad. Not bad for PayPal. I haven't seen PayPal in a very long time as far as intraday action, like looking at it closely. But yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good right now. Buff the VWAP. And rocking here. Rigetti's coming back to the BF for a third time since after we were out of the tray. So one here failed again. Trying it again. Wait for that confirmation, guys. If you're gonna do that VWAP breakout strategy, do not force it. Wait for that confirmation. I'm looking at as well and see what we can possibly get there.
Oh,
Hello.
Yeah,
I
hear him.
Who was that? What do you hear?
Wait, where am I hearing? Oh, it's Nathan. I heard Nathan. I thought he was with us. Nathan's in the chat room though.
The
That threw
chat.
me
Yeah.
off. It threw me
Yeah, I
off.
see him in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just assumed because it was Nathan's voice he was here on YouTube with us. But...
Oh, he's there. I think he's showing how Atlas works. This is a video he put together as well for anybody that's interested in how it works. So here's Rigetti trying to do something. I don't trust this stock one bit. I mean, don't trust any stocks. That's the rule, but I just don't believe it can get good clean trading done here. It'll be right here. See if you get the confirmation. It seems to not want to be above the VWAP. Oh, there's a confirmation. Is it going to do it? That's a good entry. That's a good entry if you jumped in.
So guys, yeah, stay tuned here. Give us the thumbs up and the like. Don't forget, we've got a special guest coming on here in just under an hour. So it'll be good. It'll be very good.
Yeah, so and so here's what has to what not has to happen. Here's what could help, right? When we have special guests like this, if you guys hit the thumbs up, stick around, it helps other guests like the Alpha Mind, Steve Goldstein come on board, right? Because they get likes, they get this. Okay, there's volume, right? They don't want to come to like a dead crowd. You don't want to have that. So, he's going to be on today, 11 a.m. Let's make sure we're present. Come see it. He's really good. The Alpha Mind podcast is also really nice. So if you haven't signed up, they're everywhere. I think I have them on Apple Music, but you get them on Spotify. I think they do stuff on YouTube. So definitely sign up for them. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Very, very knowledgeable individual. We met him a couple of times, and he's done some webinars for us as well. A couple of interviews. I mean, he's legit. So definitely a friend of the community, BBT community. Uh, what else? Yeah, Osam, I think, yeah, he's British. He's out in he actually, I'm not sure where he's in the Europe area, but I don't know where exactly he is stationed at. But yes. All right, Rigetti's gonna go. Rigetti's gonna go. But I'm not joining that trade. It's too messy for me. What do you like, White Cat, on Tesla? What do you like on it? Yeah, Ham, that is trading in the zone. You know, if everything's meeting your criteria, you should definitely take the trade, right? That's trading in the zone. Um, he talks about that, about being uh, uh, clear on your entries every time you see a signal get in. But I don't know. I think we've been trading long enough where I can see something and say, you know what, everything's going here. I'm not feeling it. I can make that decision as well, right? So um, I didn't like it. Felt so many times already, but this time it's
Yeah.
working out. So yeah, I get that 100%. But you know, as retail traders, we don't gotta be in every move. Now, you know, if I gotta move shares around, if I work for a firm, I gotta move shares, I gotta be in the move and do this, do that. I get it. But we don't gotta be in every move, man. Um and again, it's different for everyone, right? It's different. Rigetti. If I was in this trade, where would I take profit? Well, if I would have got in, my entry would have been here. Yeah, this kind of around 43, 42. Yeah, right here. I'll be thinking about it. Like if this candle doesn't go any higher, see it's hesitating. There, I'm taking profit right there. 43. Yeah, I'm taking a partial there, and then I'm gonna sit and wait to see what it does. So it's funny. We trade long enough that we can tell like how you would trade something and be pretty close on how you actually do it in real life. If I was in this trade, right? So, but yeah, right there would have taken a partial 43.90 in case you got the breakdown, and now I'll be waiting to see for a new high. Then if we break a new high, wait for the momentum to slow down. Once it slows down, take another partial again. Again, that's just my partialing strategy. Some people like to do it at specific levels. They'll put a limit order right here at the high of the day, which is I think it's a good place to put one at. Um, so, but it's got the momentum now. And I think it wants to go. The fact that it's moving like this, looking pretty nice. This candle is important. It's gonna break through. Keep going. Don't pull back on us. Anybody in this? Anybody take this long? Rigetti. AMD. Wow, AMD's nothing burger. Ham. This is just not doing anything today, huh? Something about this 214. It's just I see this as like actually heavy support, man. We dropped down. We couldn't break below that. I'm glad I took my two partials here all out. And since then, yeah, we have a couple of breakdowns, but it finds its way right back up. So, um, I'm not sure what this really wants to do now. It's a tough one. All right, let's see. All right. I got the Tesla robot in this movie. Tron. That's funny. All right. Yeah, Rob, this is it. You're seeing it live, right? This is the waiting game right now. Yeah, this is the part that it's not as entertaining. But it's the waiting game. And when you're new, this sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you're new, sitting here waiting is boring, and then you don't feel like a trader. You feel like you're not a trader because you're not in something. So yeah, agree. Just can't force it 100%. Gotta stay calm. Wow, Rigetti. Have you take this trade? Man, look at this. What a move. So up right here towards the high of the day. This is awesome. It's a nice move. It's okay if you're still in simulator focus corners. I mean, as long as you are trading, um, uh, your plan, right? You're practicing your strategy. As long as you're practicing your strategies and getting screen time, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yep.
Actually, that's the responsible thing to
Agreed.
do.
What have we got? We've got PLTR just uh PLTR is tough here.
Yeah.
186.09, 186.12. It was so close to being sort of a mountain pass like setup, but it just moved a little bit higher on that second push on PLTR.
GLTR. Okay, hold on.
Broke my rules, yeah. I mean, it had such a good move up. These are the types of stocks I like, right, for my mountain pass reversals because it had a strong move up all morning. See the volume spike that we had about 10:01. So that, when it hit the high of day, so that's good. Then it pulled back and it retested on lowered volume, but it just went a few cents higher, and that's it breaks one of my rules there. So,
Yeah.
but everything else looked good on it. So I was just watching that pretty intently. I think. Sorry, guys, I wasn't talking. I was got very distracted as I was hoping for a trade on this, but I was debating. But then Carlos, I was remembering you from yesterday. I'm thinking, no, I don't want to be breaking my rules.
Don't do
Right?
it. Yep.
We got to set a good example.
Yep.
So Dell had a sell off this morning. Like I expected, not tough tough move. I don't really see a good entry opportunity.
Yeah.
And
Me neither.
AMD, even after all this time after you got out, Carlos, still really hasn't gone anywhere.
Yes.
Uh,
It's making lower highs on the
it is.
pullbacks, so maybe that can help
It's
break this, but it's not. It's a tough one, man.
it still looks like it wants to go lower, like it
Yeah,
really does,
I
but
agree.
it's taking so long to do it that it makes the whole move a little less certain, right?
Yeah.
So just a
Hey, look at
so yeah,
Rigetti.
it's not the type of thing I think we both like. You want to see some momentum in the stuff you're trading. You don't want to have to sit here biting your nails for the next 2 hours as it
Yeah.
trades within a range. That's just not a lot of fun. So
Yep. Rigetti taking off, friends. If you're in this 45.13 high of the pre-market, that is awesome. I mean, sorry, high of the day. So that is doing very well there. Um, it's got good volume too, guys. It's got great volume picking up here nicely.
what is Andrew talking about? Oh, the money show. All right, guys. What do we got? We We need to get Andrew and Brian over here. He's talking about potential meetups.
Mm.
All right, I gotta take 2 minutes here. A lot of water this morning. I have to go take care of that. I'll be right back.
All right, go for it. All right, friends, let's see. Tesla, no, Tesla seems like it wants to break down here. When can we expect a big review from Tesla? I have no idea. They have not set a time, or it's today. That's all they gave us was today, but there's no time on when they'll be doing anything. So I haven't seen nobody confirm that. Tesla could be losing the VWAP, but let's see how it does here. Rigetti to the moon. Are the other quantum stuff going too? QUBT at the VWAP. Let's see, QBTS was another one we had as well. This also took off here very nicely. They're just on fire. QBTS, sorry, QBT still at the VWAP, so this could be a nice one if it's gonna go. Can give you a hopefully a VWAP breakout. The volume is so lighter compared to the other two. You gotta take a lot of shares to make something. This is $1 all the way up here. So you can take a little bit more shares. Oh, you could, let me not say that. You could risk manage. Your risk manage could be a little bit more because how little it moves as far as sense wise, right? So.
All right.
Do I have a video on the 5-minute RB? I don't have one for Lambos and Garbage Truck playlist. Maybe I should make one. I do have one on Bear Boot Traders. It's an older one. It's about an hour and change long, where you break that down. But I should do one for our Lambos and Garbage Truck family. So maybe I'll do that. I'll do one of those. The same way we did the VWAP one, right? It's just kind of the same breakdown. With some new examples. I got plenty of new examples we could use. Some examples that you probably have seen here.
RGTI is
To the
really
moon, man.
spiked
Yeah.
up here. Yeah.
4607, the high now.
No,
So
I want to see. It's a shame it didn't spike with volume. I would have considered a short there if it had spiked with volume, but it did not.
yeah, it's just steady. No, it's just steady, steady.
Yeah.
So Tesla, SPY selling down. Tesla's following suit. Man, I want to join this party. Trying to see where else some action is. This could be nice. Yeah, Ben, I agree with you letting it run. You might see a little pressure. Not saying you have to get out. Not saying just keep in mind. You might see a little pressure with the SPY selling down here. But if this stock is strong, it can push through that, right? But you might see a little pressure as other tickers are getting pressure lowered. AMD still holding here, just struggling. Watching Atlas on Rigetti, nice. Did you get grandfather in last week? I hope you did, man. I hope you did. Oh, let's see. Yep, nice. Enjoy that. That's gonna be a relic. That price. That's gonna be a relic. Very nice, very nice. All right, Rigetti doing some stuff. Tesla pulling back here as the market sells off a little bit. I'm trying to look for another trade. We got 2 green trades so far, but we could definitely use. We have room for another trade if we can guess something. But I just haven't seen anything I love here.
Oops, I was on mute. I didn't realize. Yeah, there's
Oh,
always room for more
this
green
is room.
trades.
There's more room for green
Yeah,
trades.
there's always room for green
uh,
trades, but you got to take the
yeah,
risk before it becomes a green trade, right?
that's
That's
right.
always
This
the
so
that's the challenge.
it should be. There's room for another risk of take risk on another trade. There's room for that. Because you get to a point when
Right.
there's no
Yeah.
room to even take another risk. You know, it's just there's no room, but there's room here
Right.
to put on risk. Um,
Pretty pretty quiet here this morning. So
I feel like it's everything is besides spaghetti, everything is just blah.
yeah.
Like, well, I don't see anything. AMD short AMD breakdown. I don't know, man. AMD, I think it's a short, but the hopes of short are leaving and getting lesser and lesser because we just keep holding. See, this moving average has been down and down and down. This keeps holding
Yep.
here, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's just such a messy situation.
It is.
Um,
And
but
I'm
I'm
looking
with
at
you
the
short.
yeah, I'm looking at the order map on or
Which
the
one?
Atlas on AMD,
Yeah.
and it continues to be uncertain. There are still more orders to the downside. 213,
Yeah.
212, that's where the big orders are sitting, but it's not enough to pull this thing. So, and they're not increasing. They're just sort of sitting there and have been for a while. So,
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's
Look, and then you get.
AMD's
Hmm.
tough. Tough, tough, tough.
And then you get moves like this where it seems like okay, the buyer's coming in now. We're going back up to the VWAP, and it does nothing. So it's a hard one.
Yeah.
How do you like this one? You're mentioning it, but how do you like it? You thinking
Oh
reversal? What are you
no.
thinking?
It's no,
Yeah,
it still feels short, but again, the longer it stays in this territory, the more likely it can change perspective, right? Because what'll happen
right.
is you get somebody with some deep pockets that sees an opportunity. Because it's moving sideways, it makes it actually easier to push it higher or lower because people will start abandoning positions much easier the longer it sits here. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes it just less certain as to which way it could go.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't take much, right? You'd have to jump just like a dollar, dollar 50 in one direction or another, which right now on AMD is, like a buck 50 is what, 0.5%?
yeah,
Not well, 0.75% move. So it's not really that big of a move for it to do that. So yeah, Carlos, I like this just screams stay away to me. Don't look at
yeah,
it. See the consistently low volume, how it's bouncing in this range. It's just not it's not worth the risk. We could be totally right that this thing will drop down, but it's not worth the risk at this point to try it, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. Maybe later. Later today, it'll settle down. It'll actually start picking
Yeah.
a direction. I was looking at MU. Yeah, MU collapsed from VWAP here. Very light on the volume at the moment, but um, yeah, did go red
Oof. Oof.
here. Tesla. Rigetti trying to hold their gains up above the after they broke out of the view up here above the high of the day at the open, and the POTR had a great day today. Let's take a look on Amazon. Beltor, good buddy. Ah man, it's tough right now. Like it's hard to read this one at the moment. To be honest, Amazon is just right here, just above the VWAP. There's not really a whole lot going on. Um, and I don't see a play long or short, so it's in a tough spot right now. What I do like though, on these stocks that are not selling off, like so you see the whole market selling down. Some of these stocks are just hanging out here. That's good. That's good, right? That means they're not following the SPY, doing their own thing. Rigetti, same thing, trying to hold its gains here, not really selling down with the SPY. That could be a sign of strength in most cases. Um, But PLTR, same thing, holding here. So what I usually look out for, if the SPY starts to push higher, if it bounces back aggressively, some of these stocks get that better momentum, right? They get that sentiment like, okay, there's nothing holding us down from going higher, which PLTR looks like it wants to do, at least here. But Amazon is a tough one, man. I don't know. Peter, thoughts on Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, well, I haven't looked at it. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, it's another one that looks very, very tough. Yeah. Trading in a zone all morning. In fact, even worse than that, it's been in the same zone pretty much all pre-market as well. It had a brief foray out of it just the once, right? Right after the
Mm,
open around
yeah.
9:35 for 10 minutes. But yeah, this just screaming to me. Well, it's funny, eh? How you look at things differently on a different chart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I've got my chart all stretched out, and it looks, yeah, like you're doing there. It looks much flatter. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but in any event, yeah, I don't like it. I wouldn't go anywhere near it myself.
Yeah, same here. PLTR bouncing off the moving averages, heading right back to the high of the day. Let's see if we can break it. Peter, was this a mountain pass? I think. Oh no, it broke it
No,
by
it
a
was
couple of
almost. That's what I
cents.
said. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. That's what I said.
it
I
broke it.
was
Yep.
watching it for that, and it didn't quite meet the criteria for me. So close, no cigar.
All right, bit of a rejection here once it makes a new high. SPY trying to go back green, just pulling off here from the lows. So Rigetti, I can expect Rigetti. Oh, look at AMD. Look at that move. You knew what's coming, long or short. We just didn't know what direction. We knew eventually it's gonna do something. Look at that,
Yeah,
pop up
yeah.
to the upside. So it was just messy. It was no edge. Look how clean it's trading now. That is very clean. Last two candles at least, compared to what we saw the last hour almost.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. It's probably like 30 minutes, but here it is.
Uh,
Just messy, messy. Breaking at the VWAP now. Market is going green. Andrew's long. Oh, Andrew's long AMD. I'm just long AMD, partial at the VWAP.
he was, yeah. Is he now?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, he's partial. I didn't know he was in it.
he was trying to make some of his money back. He had a big loss on it earlier. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, he had a pretty big loss on it
Oh,
earlier. So
look at this move, guys. What turned on for AMD out of nowhere? It's been garbage for the last 30 minutes, and now it's just turned on the engines here. Like what
right.
causes you to do a 180 like this? Well, we're here for it. We don't need a reason why, but it's just interesting. Yep, I see it. I see it, AMD. I see the breakout. Nice, KJ. KJ10 says POTR one and done with the help of Atlas. Beautiful, man. POTR was a great one today. Carlos, how do you see the first candle with momentum? Is it worth to trade? Um, that's a tough question. It depends on your strategy, right? Like I put everything on the strategy, right? Everything starts with the strategy and pattern recognition first for me. You know, so there's some people that trade momentum. They're like they won't really have a strategy as far as like the way I do with the ORB or the VWAP, but they'll see movement coming up, they'll see volume, and they'll go long for more of a scalp type play reacting to momentum, and that's okay. But again, I don't trade like that, you know. So for me, it starts with the pattern recognition and then checking out how some of the candles work out. And then you might miss the first initial candle that has a lot of momentum, right? You will miss it, but doesn't doesn't mean that you still can find good opportunities. Like the market open. Listen, if I could trade every time, minute two, one out of the gates and pick a direction, take a good size, like we'll be done in the first 5 minutes every day because there's always something moving with great momentum. But it's gotta, with me, it starts with the pattern, right? So, how do you trade such a heavy breakout? This one here, I don't trade it. There's no strategy for me here, so I don't end up trading something like this. Here, well, I'm
Yep.
waiting to see if we get our view at breakout, but we don't get it, so we don't trade it. I don't trade it, right? So, because at least if I'm doing it off a strategy, when it doesn't work,
See,
I can
yeah. See, look at
measure it. Mm-hmm.
that AMD. See,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good reason why
it's
you want to avoid that. Even the breakout
even
was
with the
sort of
breakouts.
a fake
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Now, if you're scalping, again, remember this.
Yeah.
It all comes down to what type of trader you are. If you're scalping, which scalping is not a bad thing. People say, "Oh my God, scalping it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with scalping." But if you're scalping, that
No.
breakout for you was awesome. Like that
Yeah.
breakout there, you're sitting in gold. But me and Peter, we trade more of patterns, so we won't go
Yeah.
for that breakout. All right,
Here
Andy
we
should be
are.
on here any
Hello.
minute.
Hello, friends.
I don't hear them yet.
Me.
No, I was
I
talking to our friends
hear.
in the chat room.
Good morning,
All
everybody.
right, there we go.
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Good
Peter,
morning.
thank you so much for calling
Uh,
me professor.
Professor Doctor. I like the title.
Professor
I think it's
Doctor.
great.
Yeah, Professor Doctor. You're so nice to me. I'm nobody. Uh,
Oh, not to us, sir. You're everything to us.
all right. So today I had a loss, and unfortunately, it was my mistake on AMD. I took a big size. I didn't get out early. So I'm staying at $9,000 loss, and the rest of my position is sitting on the stocks and the bonds. So you can actually see that.
Can we get the
Uh,
screen in the chat room, Carlos?
oh, yeah, screen in the chat room is nice.
There we go.
So yeah, so unfortunately, AMD was a big loss. I'm trying to, get a hang of Market Atlas. So that helps, making a decision. Right now, the Atlas is very bearish. In the morning, I saw some very bullish signals on that. I went long, and then the Atlas completely changed to indecisive, but I kind of stuck in there. And again, it's a learning process for me as well to use this new tool. And that one of the reasons that I had a big loss on AMD was I didn't listen to the price action that I had. Normally I look at the price action. So let me show it to you actually. It's very important to really do this recap. So at the open, we had this really nice move up. The Atlas was extremely bullish here. So I went long for the opening range breakup and came back, and then I added more. But Atlas really at around 933, 934 became very decisive. And I just didn't accept that. Usually, when opening range breakout doesn't work, I get out of it. But because I had this bias of bullish at the open, I thought that it's going to go up. Never went up, so I had to accept a very big loss here on that. And then I tried to catch another, bottom reversal on it. Eventually, one of them works, but the losses were way too much to recover. NVIDIA was the only profitable trade that I did. So again, by the help of Market Atlas, we see the bullish, liquidity pools. You trading near all-time high. So I thought that maybe we can go, toward the all-time high. So I went long. These are, again, the entries are very based on Market Atlas. I went long, added more, and then when the breakout happened, added more, went boom, all the way to 189, where they got filled. I added more because NVIDIA in that time was bullish. Let's see. Let's see what's happening here right now. So still some really, really big orders are stacking up here. So let me bring it here. So there are still some really, really big orders up there, but and it might go there, but I stopped out on it anyway. So that's why I added more. And that's it. That's my
A little,
trading. It's okay. That's I
little bit,
can loss. Brian.
little bit quiet little bit quiet, like your microphone. I
My
think when you get
microphone?
closer to the mic, that's better.
Oh,
Yeah, just
really?
you're kind of drifting off there.
Oh, so
Um,
oh, okay. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's good. That's good now. Yeah, my best trade today was PLTR and nice breakout. Took profits at 183, but it just pulled back after it hit yesterday's high, and then it just continued to go up. So it kind of missed part of that move, but still got a nice move on PLTR. Yeah, yeah, Ravi. It was PLTR was a nice gave a nice move today. Yeah, I saw that there was news about a bunch of all these hikers stranded um, on Mount Everest due to weather. That's never good. It's never a place you want to be stranded. Did you, Andrew? Did you see that? Did you see that news about all those people stranded on Everest?
Yeah, I saw that. It's through the north side, and yeah, it was really apparently very bad storm. But China is really good in rescuing and stuff. So it was on the north side. It was on the Tibet side.
Well, which side did you summit from?
Nepal from the south side. So Everest, you can climb it from
Okay.
the Tibet or from which is China, and from the Nepal, and then there are two different routes, and the routes meet each other at the summit. Uh, Climbing from the Nepal is way easier, but there are more logistics. There are the better Sherpas, the helicopter is there. On the and it's harder on the Nepal side. On the China side, it's easy, much easier, but there is not a lot of support. So like, they don't allow a lot of expedition company. There is no helicopter rescue in and out, and there are less expedition teams. So it means that if something happens, there are less, support from, Sherpas. So
Oh, okay.
it's a different, it's a different experience. But the route on the north side is easier.
Hmm.
So guys, remember guys, today at 11 a.m., like in 20 minutes, we have a very, very important guest, one of the really, really nice performance coaches that I actually have a lot of respect, Steven Goldstein. He actually has a book. I have his book here. Let's see if I read this book. Yeah. He has a book called Mastering the Mental Game of Trading. So it's actually a very, very nice book. I read it, and I highly recommend guys stay here. And Nathan and Thor are having this conversation with him. Nathan and Thor are really good friends, and also they're really good trader, and their style is kind of very similar. They read the market atlas, and now they're starting this kind of semi-podcast conversations, and they try to bring some guests for us in YouTube. I'll be here. I like to listen as well. And Steven Goldstein came to Vancouver. I don't remember this year or was last year.
Yeah.
I've got it too. Look, we
Oh,
all
there
have
you
it.
go.
He might
Nice.
have come.
Yeah.
See, there we
He might
go.
have come a couple of times.
Yeah,
He might have been at one of our things more than once.
yeah. I think it was last. It wasn't this past time. It was the first time, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it was the TEDx one. It was the
No, I think it was the other one.
So another thing is that, guys, I just confirmed with the Money Show, which they're throwing conferences on investing and trading on Money Show Vegas, February 23rd to 25th. I'm gonna have, or we're gonna have, a 2-hour live trading session and classes. So they're gonna actually give us a live trading session, very similar to our Vancouver summit. So for live trading with bigger screen, screen sharing, and things. So I really hope to actually have a small semi summit in there. And I have to talk to them. But Brian, if you want, you and I can trade together. And maybe after us, maybe another group, maybe Nathan or Thor come also do the presentation. So it would be in person, all live trading together. And that would be nice. It's also a Pacific time zone, so it would be 6 a.m. But it's a good, it's Vegas, nobody sleeps. So you can gamble on the casino and then come at 6 a.m. gamble in this casino.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome, yeah. But remember, as president said, no crying in the casino.
No
Legendary.
crying in the casino. Yeah.
Legendary quote.
I've had some good trading in Vegas when I've been there, usually.
Yeah. Are you coming to Peter? Are you coming to Vegas?
I don't know. I just heard about it. So.
Yeah, so 23rd to 25th. I don't know what day would be our let's check out. So what day would be our trading 23rd to 25th. So it would be Monday to Wednesday. So either date works for trading. February 2026.
February.
Yeah, I'll send a newsletter. If you follow me in social media and follow our community, I'm gonna give you enough notice and information. So if anyone follows our community, if you're in my newsletter, I usually send a couple of times a week from social media posting it. So there will be impossible not to hear about it. All right, so the market atlas on the NVIDIA is still bullish. Let's see if we can get to all-time high or not, but I'm not going to take any other trade. It's not the time of the end. So Aurora is asking, yes, if my account gets to $10 million, I'm going to stop day trading. That's the plan. I'm going to go to a beach, get married, raise a couple of cubs, do the long walk on the beach with my better half.
You would be bored in about half a day, Andrew.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah. No. But in all seriousness, I love day trading. I love trading, like waking up and coming. I love it. Like it's kind of addiction too. Like it is addictive. And I love it. Like my brain has been wired, and I love trading with the community, especially Brian. When I'm trading with Brian, I love it. When Brian is gone and other people is there, I'm not enjoying it as much. It's really fun trading with Brian. And look, I'm very grateful to the community to make trading, my own at least trading, very, very enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable experience.
Life is good.
I can't imagine people trade in different community or by themselves.
Yeah, this market is just amazing.
AMD is going back up. It's a piece of garbage. One or two. AMD is one of those. Let's go to AMD Atlas.
It's very uncertain. Rigetti dropping hard.
Yeah, Atlas is not bad. It's kind of bullish. 215.50 and 216. I think it's a possibility. But I'm done with this piece of garbage. So the funding account on trading terminal is Pim is asking a question about the funded account. So anyone who is on the real-time simulator on the funded account on trading terminal, so your equity is 12,500, your buying power is $50,000. In 3 months, let's have a chat together, see how much you made, and then I'll send you a check on that. And if you blew up, you reset another 90 days and see where we get with that. It's a great learning tool, great simulator experience with some consequences. Trading Terminal has that, but obviously Trading Terminal is a browser-based, smaller version of a simulator. But I think works really well for 99% of the people. If you really want to, have a simulation on a very powerful platform, then we have the funded account through DAS as well. It's more expensive, but it's just the best Lamborghini of the trading platforms. Everything that you want, all the indicators, robustness, and everything is in there. But it's expensive. So if you make one mistake, you blow up $1,000, and then it's kind of bad. And that's what I see. That's what I see is a lot of people, at the beginning make one mistake and then $1,000 whoop, the one there. So it's you need a cheaper version. Any question, guys? Before Steven Goldstein is coming, I think we have about 10 minutes, 8 minutes until he comes.
Yeah.
Any question?
I still think the Qs are going to go red here, and I still short a little, just one SPX put right now, by one SPX put, which is putting me short the market.
So the funded account rules is this one here. So if you go into that funded account rules, there is a page that you can actually get all the information in there. So the futures on Atlas, we reached out to the data provider and the exchange to provide us, but you really don't need the futures on that. If you are trading Nasdaq futures or S&P 500 futures, you can look at the QQQ and S&P 500. The liquidity in the short term is very similar to the futures. And they're pretty expensive. Like I think the exchange, we have to deal with that, but the futures, the exchange might actually charge. The number that I heard is $70 per month per user for futures level 2.
Wow.
If it's in back of my mind, even just for the micro futures, mini futures, or like something like that within Nigeria. I think TradingView charges like $7 per month per user, so level 2 is way more expensive. And I'm surprised that CME Group is so expensive in terms of licensing. Maybe we can negotiate a deal with them in a way that we are an educational company. We're not really actually trading on that, so maybe you can give us a better price. But that's why I kind of back off and says, "Oh, this is deal breaker, that kind of pricing." NVDA is done.
Yeah. Qs
So
are.
Eric is asking a question. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just saying Qs are still flirting with previous day close here. I still think it's going to drop. Trend is still down. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So Eric is asking a question. Do you look at 1 minute and 5 minutes? So I look at the 5 minutes to get the overall trend. 5 minutes is my strategic decision making candlestick. 1 minute is a tactical decision making. I try to get better entries and better exits in 1 minute chart. So I think traders need at least 2 time frame, not more than 3 time frames. So you don't want to have many time frame. So one of them to give you an overall direction, like higher high, higher lows, is it below the VWAP, above the VWAP? Another one is a tactical one. And people use differently. Like Brian used 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Ayman used like 15 minutes and 5 minutes. So the different traders are using different time frame, and really depends, at the end of the day, it really depends on this, that what kind of trade book you
It depends on
define.
your trade book and what setups you're looking for. Because Eamon probably is looking for longer term trends. So you'd look at longer term charts. Just like with swing trading, if you're looking for a longer term move, you look at longer term charts. You look at dailies and weeklies. So again, it partly depends on what your trade book, what kind of strategies you're using.
Exactly.
Texas Stock
USAR
Exchange, I guess it's it could draw some volume away from this market, but I don't see it having a big big impact at this point. I mean, what are you going to, I mean, you have to, people that want to trade actively, you want liquidity and you're going to go where there's lots of liquidity. So I think that's going to be one of the challenges. But we'll see. I mean, you know, and then there's this issue with the 24-hour trading. We'll see how much that waters down sort of the regular trading hours that we're used to. Here we go. There go the cues. What did I tell you?
Use one red.
Yeah. Ooh, QBTS just went red as well. Wow, big drop on the SPY. Okay, I'm going to got this one put, the 6740 SPX put. I think I'm gonna maybe sell it here.
Wow. This Rigetti is also really dropping like a boss.
SPY
AMD's
came, SPY
absolutely
just,
garbage.
the cues didn't stay red for very long. That they stayed red for about 30 seconds. They just wanted to dip it into the red to trigger stops and then pulled it back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, did you do any draw for members of Lambo Garbage Truck today?
No, we haven't done anything.
Yeah, do you want to give something to Lambo Garbage Truck people?
Yeah, we should. What do you want to give away?
Let's give them Lambo Garbage Truck 1-year membership, Elite.
1 year. Nice.
Just for the members of Lambo Garbage Truck.
All right, let's do that.
I feel generous today. Like the video, guys.
All right, here we go. All right, excellent. I will set this up. All right, hashtag BBT, guys. Hashtag BBT.
All right. So,
all right, here we go. I will give it a little bit.
Also, Carlos, what I suggest is that now that Steven is coming today, Steven Goldstein, continue streaming in the chat room as well.
Okay.
I think Paris is okay with that, and I hope Gary is also okay.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Samantha, for the DAS funded account, unfortunately not. You can't get the reset because it's just the platform is set at 3 months. But for trading terminal, if you blow up, you can reset for free for now. All right, guys, join members of Lambo and Garbage Truck to be part of it. If you're not a member of Lambo and Garbage Truck, don't post anything. So what you can do, you can go to the channel, join, and you can just members of Lambo and Garbage Truck. And the reason for that is YouTube is favoring channels that have a lot of members and more like a feeling of the community. So it's $5 or five whatever currency that you have, and YouTube takes 35% of that. So it's just for the support of the channel, and really appreciate that. Let's go.
All right, here it is. 124 entries, friends. And the winner for the 1-year elite membership goes to Ashley Nicola. So congratulations, Ashley. Yep. Email me, carlos@bayreturns.com, and we'll get you all set up.
Perfect. All right, Thor, thank you, buddy. How are you? I see you're here, but I don't see your camera.
I am here, and my camera is starting itself. We'll see what happens. Maybe it shows up, maybe it doesn't, of course.
Perfect. Nice. No, we're gonna see you. We're gonna see you. Oh, there you go. Looking good.
There we go. I'm alive. I'm here.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. So, thanks for having Steven. Steven is coming. Yes, in a few minutes, probably.
Yeah, but I believe we're just waiting for him to get signed in here. But yeah, sure is. We're gonna have him on here, and we got a couple of questions we got from some of our Lambos and Garbage Trucks members yesterday. One of the benefits to being in here is, you're cool. So we listen to you guys.
Oh, Thor
And,
does another thing. You did something very interesting. You did 1 hour mentorship to one of the Lambo and garbage trucks. That was amazing. So that was very appreciated. Very, very appreciated.
absolutely, and I had a great session with them
Yeah,
as
that was
well. It
nice.
was so much fun.
Thanks. Perfect. So how to become a member of Lambo and Garbage Truck, Ali Nisar, is you just go into the YouTube and there is a click button join. You can click on that, and then that's how it is. Just go into the main channel. Nathan, how are you, buddy? Thanks for covering when I was gone. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna sign off.
Brian tried to hold up the market. He was doing
Yeah.
push-ups.
Tried
Yeah.
holding it
I'm
up.
gonna sign off. And I don't know if Steven is
Okay.
here. I just want to say hi to him. If not, yet, I'm gonna sign off. But remember, guys, Steven has a really nice book, The Mental Game of Trading. I really enjoyed that. It's a very easy read as well. So I really enjoyed reading his book. I think Peter has it as well. I think 2 years ago he was here. If anyone is interested in improving their mental, aspect of trading, which is very important. So that's the book that you should look into that. And yeah, so Nathan, I'm gonna see you in Thailand very soon. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's amazing. And thanks.
Vegas, money show in Vegas sounds pretty good too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I was thinking of if you and Thor want to come, and I know Thor is also doing a lot of presentation for Money Show. Maybe Brian and I can do live trading, and you and Thor come talk about the Atlas and
yeah,
liquidity and the different style.
absolutely.
Nice,
Yeah, we'll hang. You had me at Vegas.
awesome,
Yeah, same.
perfect, excellent. All
But
right,
Nathan's
guys.
going to do Thailand. We'll let Nathan do Thailand now. Have fun, buddy.
Thailand, yeah,
Ah,
absolutely.
okay.
All right,
Sweet.
so is Steven here?
Let me email and see, just to make sure they're not having any
All right.
problems getting in.
Look at this. The Qs and SPY are still dropping here. Are you short the SPY or Qs, Nathan or Thor? Thor, this is
I
your
am
kind of
short.
trade.
Yeah, I'm short NQ.
I'm short Dow Jones or YM, Dow Jones Industrials. So
okay.
we got
Sweet.
short that literally at like high of day. I mean, and we're still
Yeah.
holding. I mean, we haven't gotten rid of it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
There's no
Short
reason to get
NQ
out of it
from
yet. So
244.50.
Yeah, I
So
can
that one's
see.
going really well for me.
yeah, I think today we're gonna just
Yeah,
liquidate. So it's no reason to get rid of this right now.
yeah, I can see R4 rejection on the Qs. Yeah, and that high of the pre-market was high for the SPY. All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna grab some breakfast. I'll catch everyone later. Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna also, guys, moving in, and I'm gonna actually sign off. So hand it over to you guys. If Steven came, send my regards to him.
I will. Yeah, I sent an email just to see if they send something
Yeah.
back to me, just to make sure the link's working okay. But it should be. We'll talk some market stuff until
Coordinate that
he
with
comes in and
Carlos
shows up.
too. Yeah, make sure Carlos knows what method, because you already worked on the contact method and all that, so we should be good. So, man. So, Aranza, welcome, by the way, to Lambos and Garbage Trucks. So good to see you. Who is the author of Mental Game of Trading? Steven Goldstein. He's it's going to be a lot of fun talking to him when he gets in. He's got a couple of books, but I mean, he was a successful trader for well over like 15 years, and then started his coaching and his performance work. And I mean, more or less anyone who started trading, especially around when I started trading in 2018, We know who Steven Goldstein is. I mean, and I met him at Vancouver we had a BBT meetup 2 years ago, and we had the meetup and just got to hang out with the guy for like an hour, standing around just talking about. Actually, we had this. I kind of going to ask him a little bit more about that again. We actually talked a bit about neurodivergence in stock trading, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, no, that was one of the big things that definitely resonated with you, and that you've really been sharing with a lot with the community.
I got audio coming in.
There we go, dumping down. Got my fill on NQ, so that was a pretty good trade. It's like 8 Rs on that one.
Nice. Good job, buddy. I'm still hanging on to YM. I'm well over, I don't know. I'm probably around 8R on this trade. I just think like I'm gonna go for maybe the monthly central pivot like S4. So that would be just a crazy trade. So why not make up for not having Friday being a red day. We'll turn today into an extra green day. Is that revenge trading, Nathan, or is that avenge trading? Asking
You're an
for a
Avenger
friend.
for sure.
I think it's avenge trading.
I definitely think you're an Avenger.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, come on. Is my screen up right now? I'm about to hit my Amazon short target. So I shorted Amazon when Amazon stalled out here near R3. Look at the I want to show you guys my buying and selling indicator while we've got a few minutes, because this one was reading a really solid sell. Come on, here we go. It's still on. So well. Look at this thing right next to me. Hopefully they'll get everything figured out. Now I can't find my YouTube. There we are. Hey, Jose, welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to let me see if we can we toss?
See, I'll send the link again to him just in case, maybe.
Thor, why are you texting me? I'm here.
Oh, I don't know, man. You know me.
I'm
I
kidding.
don't like to just it's like a third wall break or something,
Nah,
right?
I'm always here, always watching, always listening. What you need?
I was just gonna say while we're waiting, if you just want to toss my screen up so people can
Absolutely, man.
see the misery. I love making people watch my screen when I get 1 cent away from getting filled and then it goes the other direction. I like to share my pain with others.
Refresh your screen so it comes up.
Okay.
Carlos, is the link that we've been using to join here, is that the link that he should use too?
Yeah, you could use the same Zoom
Okay.
link. Yeah, we'll come right in.
Okay. I hope something's not wrong. So, but we'll
Well,
Carlos, we lost
keep an eye on it.
microphone in the chat room.
Oh, who disconnected us? We'll turn it on again.
all
We're
right,
back.
my share's in.
Did it just happen, Peter? Or it's weird. Okay.
I mean, I'm so look at that. Look how close this thing is to hitting my target here. Oh, it's you aren't gonna get to enjoy my pain. This is gonna fill too easily. Oh yeah, look, that was a good one. I mean, look at that. Yeah, this was a VPA sweep. There's no call on this Amazon trade today. I really didn't have a lot I was looking for, but it was obviously respecting R3, and it was a good spot to be on this one. So the order book was obviously was also very bearish. So I liked this one. Hold on, it's not doing it again. So there's my fill.
Nice filled. Well done, Thor.
Filled. And now let's see if my share will work if I try again. It was very anticlimactic without the screen share going. There we go. But I want you guys to get to witness all of the just the horrible, how awful it was being to me. But oh well.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay. I'm just not hearing anything back yet. I'm trying to email him and Sophie,
Oh,
his
I think I got him now.
personal
He's on.
assistant.
He's
Oh, he is?
logging in
Okay.
now. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, there's the man.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
All
Welcome.
right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
I can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you amazing.
Okay. Okay. I was in the Google link you gave me, but no one seemed to be bringing me in. So
Well,
here I am now.
we're sorry about that part. You never like to give anyone the runaround on the links there, but we appreciate you being nimble for us. So that's awesome. So I was actually talking to everybody while we were showing them. I was in a short on Amazon, so I was showing everybody that, and I was at the same time talking to them about a time I met you, which was in Vancouver a couple years ago, and got to see you present there and got to hear you talk about things like behavioral slippage, and even you and I kind of side talked about neurodivergence in the in stock trading, and it was a really engaging conversation, probably my most engaging conversation of the weekend, I think. So when I thought, man, we have the chance to have you on here, I thought that would just be an amazing opportunity. So everybody out in YouTube, say hi to Steven Goldstein, the Alpha Mind, as we'd like to say, super, like my favorite podcast host, as well as one of my favorite performance coaches. You know, we have him on for you. So welcome, good sir, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, that's quite an introduction, and thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys. And yeah, it was great being over there in Vancouver and sort of seeing the amazing team you have there and the amazing community you have. And I just you know I just found it so impressive. So it was great to see that and witness that.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Andrew was actually in here right before you got in, and he did a nice little cameo holding with your book there with the host. So we'll have to grab that later. Always a good time. But yeah, you know, he always has such great things to say. So he wanted me to make sure to send my hellos as well. And I believe he said hello in the chat room as well here. So hey, boss,
Okay.
we got him on. So we're just you know, so again, so great to have you on. So I figured as we're going through here, you know, I had a kind of a couple of things I had gotten from the chat on maybe things they'd interested in, but you know, I know you're pretty, you have some stuff you like to talk about, so I kind of figured, you know, you're kind of the alpha mind here. You're the prolific podcast host, so I won't try and steal too much thunder here. I'll just kind of let you do what you do, because everyone's here for you today for sure, and
Well,
I know I am too. So
I'm happy to go with the flow. I'm happy to have questions asked. I'm happy to, you know, I can bring it back to what I do in any number of ways. But you know, for me, what I do is I focus on performance, on helping people develop. I kind of like think of, you know, what you do in this job as a trader. You do the doing part, you do the technical part, you do the physical part, you do the analysis, you do the scanning, you do the observation, you do the preparation, the planning, the system building or the system learning, even system development. You watch the charts here, you watch the price action, you watch the news. And you do all that in the service of trying to find opportunities and then trying to execute them effectively and take risks and do the sizing correctly and you know, do the risk management and, you know, hopefully take your profits, but sometimes, you know, take your stops or set your stops, set your targets. And you try to do that in a way that's optimal to your process. But it's very difficult to be 100%. It's very difficult to be 90%, even 80%. You know, for an awful lot of people, it's very difficult to be anywhere close to how we should be, to do what we know we need to do and to not do the things we know we mustn't do.
yeah, fairly happy with a good old 50-50, right? I mean,
yeah. Yeah, well, it all depends. I mean, there's different processes. Some people have a process that, wins 90% of the time, but when it loses much bigger than it wins. Other people have a process that wins, 10% of the time or less, but when it wins much bigger size than the aggregate loss. So, there's all sorts of different ways of doing it, but it's whatever your process is, the importance of being able to execute it and practice it.
For sure. We actually get a bit of that in here. Andrew, as a momentum trader, tends to profit very quickly on very small moves. And I'm actually, as a range trader, am almost the antithesis of that. Like I make, I risk, for a very small and go for very long holds, where I'm holding for almost the majority of the day versus very small. But it's certainly a different mental game. Either way, they both come with very unique traps to them, I think, in the two styles. So, and you really have to, really kind of get into, I think, what works for you as far as like your, the mental game isn't just about copying somebody else's strategy, right? These strategies actually are, they resonate with us. We're unique to them. And if we try the wrong one, it's almost impossible to perform.
Yeah, you've got to find your way. You've got to find your style. You've got to find what works for you. I always looked for, I had basically 4 strategies whenever I traded that were always part of, for me, were really about, I was always looking for sort of high reward to risk style trades. And, that actually had a low win rate. And it depended whether I did it short term or long term. Earlier in my career, I used to do it intraday, in effect. So the win rate was slightly higher, but it was still a lower win rate than 50% significantly. But when I won, it would be much larger wins. Later in my career, I was a lot more selective and ran risks for anywhere from several days to a few weeks to maybe even a couple of months. And in those situations, I would take a lot less trades. I could even go months without taking a trade because there wasn't the setup there. And in my best ever year, I think I only took 2 trades, if I'm honest. I only took 2 trades. I only ran with 2 trades. I took quite a few more, but it was only 2 that I actually ran with. And that hit rate in that year was probably something like 5%, and that was my best ever performance. So, there's all sorts of ways to do it. There's a multitude of different ways to skin this cat. And my cat won't be too pleased that I said that, but that's what you do though. That's your process. That's the actual transactional aspects of what you do. But then there's how you are when you do it, and that's the behavioral part. That's to me, that is the essence of great performance. It's what's going on in here. Okay, it's what's going on in here. It's how you are. It's how you turn up. It's your philosophy. It's your approach. It's how you deal with setbacks. It's how you deal with wins. It's the ability to get closure and not be thrown out by the crap that happens when you do this job, the weight of expectations or the disappointments or the times where you didn't quite meet your own expectations. You let yourself down. You said you were going to do something and then you got lost in it and did something else. What we call a spiraling. We all spiral.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go into these spirals. Another phrase for it is you go on tilt. Some people say, you throw your toys out the pram. There's all sorts of different.
This was like when I heard you. I think you were the first person I heard use the concept of behavioral slippage, like in that way. I don't know if I heard anybody else ever say it that way. So I don't know if it's your credit to have or not, but I'm giving it to you whether you want it or not.
I did make it up. I did make it up actually.
Okay, so it is your credit to have. Good. So I mean, genuinely, I'd been around. I heard it when I heard it. I was like, but it's not, the behavioral slippage isn't the money you lose, it's the money you never make, right? It's just these constant little things you're doing that keep you from getting there. But it's so interesting because this tilt you're talking about, it is that like once these slippages set in, it's like now you don't trust the process, you don't trust you. And then it's just back and back, but then you want the process to work so you can trust it. But that's not how trust works or processes, right? So it's like, it's the spiral is real. I mean, for sure.
Yeah. And there could be different versions of it. There could be short, angry spirals, which in my opinion are the best ones. Okay, because you've lost it. I'm going to apologize to my cat again. He's over there looking at me. You kick the cat. You smash the table. You throw your phone against the wall. You might smash your computer up. You do something. You're really frustrated. Okay, and you lose it, and you turn off, and you're not going to do anything more that day. You calm down overnight, hopefully, or over a couple of days. Those are the ones that they really hurt in the moment, but at least you could be conscious of them and aware of them because of how you reacted. The worst ones, though, are the long, pernicious spirals you don't even realize you're in until weeks or months later, when you just look back and you go, where did it go wrong? What was I doing? What was I thinking? Look how much money I've left on the table or lost, or you could say, I called it right and I did it all wrong.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There's so many times for every trader that I swear the traders that quit it's never the person who lost money. It's the person who almost made money like 100 times. Like you were always right there at the right spot, but because of some little issue, either just not the right price action training, maybe you just weren't ready for the sweep it was going to get, or maybe you just went to break even though you weren't supposed to, because why go out at the same price you got in at, but what's this thing you did?
There's all these things we do. I was talking to somebody the other day, and early in my career, the thought of buying the top of the day was horrendous for me. And then I realized, actually, do you know what? No one likes to buy the high of the day, not top of the day, so not the top of the high of the day. And I mean the high of the day at that moment. Okay, or the low of the day, sell the low of the day. Until you realize that sometimes the beauty of that is that the high of the day at that moment is not the high of the day. It's going to be a lot higher later on.
Right.
So you need to buy it, or you need to sell the low, because potentially it could be much lower later on. And actually that's a lot of edge there, because that is so hard to do. No one else is doing it. They're all waiting for the pullback. When actually, and that sometimes, every now and then, sometimes that will be the high of the day or the low of the day. And that's tough. But that's just how it is. But more often than not, if you can find yourself doing those things that you find really hard, really difficult, that they're your pain points, remember they're everyone else's pain points as well.
Right. That's true.
Okay. Which is why they can often be so valuable. But doing that, how many people looked at, at stocks, weeks ago or months ago even, and just thought, I can't buy there.
All right.
And now look how much higher they are.
No, I actually resonate with this concept heavily, because my trading system that I ended up developing, which is a Camarilla pivot-based system, it generically has me going against the crowd almost at all times. So I'm always playing the extreme edge of where the range is going to be, but it's the best moves. But it's often incredibly uncomfortable getting into a position there, because it's going to come back and retest over and over again. So, getting myself to a point to where I could tolerate, that, and, and stop from having, a slippage in those areas. I mean, what was amazing. And I want to remind everybody in the YouTube, Steven Goldstein here, has, he's been trading for quite a long time. He's not, although one of the most prolific performance coaches we'll probably ever have on this channel, he's also got, had over 25 years as a professional trader. Before he did that, I mean, you're talking 40 years combined experience, multiple books. His The Mental Game of Trading was definitely one of my top 3, like, psychology, or performance, let's call it performance related book, I think, that really got me headed in the right direction on this. So, and I've been trading now since 2018, still making money, still doing this thing. And I really think between, Steven and then Mark Douglas, as another, guy that I really like for some of that stuff. But I mean, your books definitely have been a major part of helping me, you know, dial in that particular aspect early in my trading career. So I highly recommend to everyone out here, make sure you blow up this guy's Amazon and pick up a couple of his books.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a fascinating area. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I started 40 years ago. I don't trade anymore. And perhaps that's not quite true. I do still trade, which is the lie. But I don't trade for a living. I just trade a fun account. I haven't traded for a living since 2015, 2010. Can't help myself. You know, I just put on occasional trades. Like I say, just for the hell of it every now and then.
Well, with your
Um,
speaking schedule, I find it hard to imagine you could really find time to really properly go through anything anyway. So I'm sure
I
it's fun
don't.
when you have fun time, you know?
I don't. I get into trouble sometimes because I'm not doing proper research, and I'm like, "Yeah, this looks like a really good idea." And then I realize, you know, you should have done some research before you did that. It's interesting, actually. People ask me, you know, why don't you trade anymore? You know, once you can trade, you can trade. But you know, which theoretically is the concept, but as anyone here knows, the amount of hard work that goes into trading, if you're going to do it properly, if you're going to do it seriously, you know, it's, you know, you've got to do your research, you've got to do your numbers, you've got to do your reviews, you've got to do your scans, you know, you've got to do your reading. If you're going to do anything, you know, you're going to do it well, you're going to put a lot of time to it. So how could I possibly do something when I can't now commit to it because I do something else? But you know, one thing which I was sort of mentioning before, which is one of the themes I like to talk about, this idea of doing trades that make you feel uncomfortable.
Mm.
Okay. Um, you know, there's a phrase I heard once and I thought it's brilliant. Nothing good ever grows in the comfort zone.
Mm.
You've got to get uncomfortable. If you're going to succeed in this job, if you want to do trades that make you feel comfortable, do them. You ain't making it as a serious trader though,
Mm-mm.
if that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally,
Absolutely.
as I was short Amazon here for the 4 or 5 minutes ahead of getting target filled, I had the wick of the candle go within 2 cents of my target and pull away over and over and over again for like 3 minutes ahead of before that filled hit. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is literally the job description.
Yeah.
Like it is wading forward through mud. I mean, it's always going to be uncomfortable. You're never going to like it. But it's ironically, I think you said too, like your biggest year was when you only had like a couple. I actually find the less you do, the better it kind of works out. So it's like, you know, once I'm in, once I got a good spot, I just leave it alone and we just wade through this uncomfortable bog, you know, so and we'll see what happens.
But that's interesting though, isn't it? Because yeah, but it can take a long time to get there. It's not always there. And sometimes you've got to do a lot of donkey work, a lot of hard work to
Mhm.
get to those moments where it happens. So when I said I had a couple of winning trades that year, and that they were huge winning trades, but there was the amount of false starts, the amount of holding myself back at times. Okay. Um, you know, I took a lot of trades, but only had a couple of winning trades. That's kind of what I meant.
Right.
Um, and you know, I had to cut some out. I had to cut some very painful ones out. I went a long way into the red on the way to getting towards that winning routine, and I had to be in front of the screens almost the whole time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been there for sometimes what are key moments that, you know, you're just there at that point where you suddenly sense something and see something and feel something, and you don't know, but you just react in the right way. And also, you have to create plans. You have to have a process, and you have to follow those, and you have to adhere to them. And you're doing that all the time. So, you know, one of the greatest traders I ever coached, you know, he was a phenomenal trader. Believe it or not, he was a day trader. But in his best ever year, he only took 7 trades.
Mhm.
You know, but he would just wait and wait and wait for the right moment. But he was in front of his screens every single day. I mean, that sort of discipline was ridiculous.
Oh,
It's not
so
not easy.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned that, did you say you were doing funding accounts right now?
So no, I don't. I coach now, so
Okay.
I don't.
He does
Okay.
I don't.
a fun
I've got a
account.
fun
Oh, fun
accounts, fun
account.
accounts.
A
I've got a
fun
small
account.
account. I just put the occasional trade on, and just leave it. And every now and then I interfere with it, usually doing the wrong thing. But but I don't really have time to follow it. It's got to be it's got to be something big. I've got to have a big view that I don't have to look at every day or even every week sometimes, and I can just leave it on there. So and every now and then I'll get involved in something that's a bit more active if I just notice a pattern happening in the market that I think, yeah, I like that. That fits one of my what I used to have, say, 4 patterns. If that fits one of those 4, I'll try it without really knowing the story behind it. Um, so that's all I do now. It's just fun accounts. It's not like you guys are doing it as a kind of as a profession.
Well, and then,
And even
some
when I did
people
it,
ask me about that, like, with your trading, and it's like as a coach, I think a lot of people don't realize how rewarding trading itself is not actually a very rewarding job. You make money, sure, but otherwise it's very not rewarding. Like you don't really get anything out of it. So the chance to like help people, teach, and have other people get professions and make money, I'm sure that's a stronger draw for you, as well as getting to like work with people. And that's, if I was, I mean, that's where I'd focus my time. I mean, it's so much fun.
when you say rewarding, what do you mean by that?
So when I trade, I'm very indifferent to trading. Like I don't like
Right,
if I win or whether I lose, I really don't get a dopamine bump out of it one way or the other.
right,
Like it's like I've
right,
been trading now for, almost a decade. So at this point, I'm very desensitized to losing. I'm very desensitized to winning. And even when I make good money, which I do, I really just don't get much out of it. Like it's fun, like it's good. It's nice to make money. But like when I see the traders that I'm working with every day start to make money and then they're like, wow, they're getting through that, it's like all of a sudden it's like what an amazing part to be to get to be
mm,
a part of, helping other people learn how to gain access to kind of the freedom I've gained access to through freight trading. I have a daughter who's on the autism spectrum, so I needed a job that allowed me to be home so that I could keep an eye on her with her therapist and stuff like
right.
that. So it's just like freedom this job was for me. It was just amazing.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But it is interesting what you say, because I think that all depends on what we're on. It sounds like you've kind of gone down the Peter Brandt principle, which is make trading as boring as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Which that way allows you to detach and desensitize from the emotion and the noise.
Yeah, I don't even have
Um,
like P&L on my screen. I just, I don't focus on what my day-to-day profit is. I have a certain risk amount per trade that I have designed into the programming. So when I hit a button, I know how it knows how much I'm risking, and the rest is
yeah,
up to it.
yeah. I mean, I actually had a different view, but I was paid to trade, so I worked for a bank, so
Mm,
it was different. But I do remember the moments where there were times there were times where I hated the job,
mm,
where I'd be thinking, why do I put myself through this? What that roller coaster,
yeah.
okay? And the job can turn you against yourself and make you hate yourself, okay? But then that was always paid for by the moments where I felt, oh my God, and I get paid to do this because I
Mm,
love this. There were times where I wouldn't want Friday to come along, and I couldn't wait for Monday to start. And I used to think, how many jobs in the world are there that does that to you?
for real. No, I mean, and
That,
it hasn't always been like that. Like I mean, I
yeah.
blew up my first trading account. So I hulked
Oh
out really
God.
bad. My
Yeah.
first year was a real hard, if there's a Dunning-Kruger effect concept, man, I was a poster child for that effect. Came in,
I
all the
don't.
false confidence in the world, and
So I don't think anyone's going to make it until they've blown up at least a couple of accounts.
right? I mean, it's like tuition or
That's
something.
that is it. That is your college fee.
Oh man, so that is awesome. So, because Melanie actually kind of cued me in there. She was asking if you find that your brain yearns for certain input and seeks satisfaction regardless of the known outcome. So I kind of felt like, I think, for me, Melanie, I think that kind of cues into what I was just saying. It's like my brain. I have ADHD, so my brain's always looking for something. So I had to become very rigorous in my system because I had to constantly negate my desire to follow shiny objects. So it took a lot of hard work to develop a system that, and then the performance to actually execute it. That was a completely different game altogether. Designing a system, not complicated. Pushing the button when you're supposed to, complicated.
Do you know, it's a challenging one, isn't it? Because some people like the puzzle. I love the puzzle.
Mm.
Okay. So I think I did design a system once and I just thought it's going to be very boring. All right, I could make money doing it, but where's the fun? Where's the fun in it? So I
Yeah.
think I wanted to be engaged in it. I know other people who design systems and they do that. And in fact, one of the best traders I've ever worked with, he was an absolute brilliant trader. You talk about autism without mentioning him. He was on the autism spectrum. And I think that helped him. I think that was part of his secret of success.
Mm.
His ability to see patterns and pull things together that no one else could see was phenomenal. And I think that's something which I meet a lot of people in this job who have various what people call learning difficulties. I don't like that word, but ADHD, autism, various other aspects. They are brilliant at recognizing patterns and seeing things that other people can't see. And some of them are amongst the most successful traders you'll ever know. But this guy went and designed and built a system, and it was brilliant. But he said, "My job has got so boring now." And he had to make up for excitement in other ways, and he did. He did other things that gave him the
That's
excitement.
literally what I got, because I have a very precise trading system, and I did very similarly to that. And it's kind of like, for me, I love mentoring and helping now because
Yeah,
trading, for me, all the joy, it's all gone.
yeah,
I've programmed it away into my trading system, my book, and here it is, boom. Now I can't do anything else. So what am I gonna do for fun now? So
yeah,
help
yeah.
people,
And
So
listen.
you
I
too.
know people, who do that, and really successful people, but they ride motorbikes, they do martial arts, they go skiing, they do stuff that gives them that buzz. They go traveling, so they can then come back and make their job as boring as possible, which
Mhm.
they really don't want to do, but they do. If they know that's kind of the secret.
Yeah.
That's the
I
secret
have to make
sauce.
it boring. If I don't, the market's too fun for me. Like I get too excited, I get too hyped, and things get in. So I have to have a very, like, almost like an avoidance style relationship with the market. Like, you gotta come to me, baby, if you're gonna play. I'm like, I need you to come all the way over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Uh,
people say, "Do you want to
you
win or
know.
do you want to have fun?" You can't, you want
Yeah,
to have fun, go to
exactly.
Vegas.
Exactly. So, which
You know
sounds like a
that.
great idea. I'll take that one. Let's just do Vegas instead.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question then.
Sure.
Okay. How long did it take you to get to that point where you were almost indifferent to losses and profits? And I should imagine, I don't know how indifferent you are, whether you're fully there. But how long did that take?
It took, I've been trading the same exact trading system in the same exact way for about 6 years now.
Yeah.
I would say it was about year four of that. So maybe about 2 or 3 years ago at most.
Right.
It took a lot of, because the thing that makes it really difficult, it isn't when it's working, it's when it's not working. Because that's where the behavioral slippage starts. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't work. So now I don't have a setup today. So maybe I should try this. And then that works. But it's not a good statistical thing. Like, it really wasn't supposed to work. It just did. And now you're just
Yeah.
constantly chasing this variable that you've injected for no reason. So my biggest fight was kind of keeping variables out. But in all reality, it's when I kind of started to believe in myself
Yeah.
that I know that I can do this the same way
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
And there's just not really a doubt in that anymore. So, and then when that happened, I was like, it's going to work. And then people are like, well, how do you know that? And I'm like, I don't, it just is. It's going to work. Why? Because it is. Well, you know, until it doesn't, well, you know, I'll let it prove otherwise. But, you know, it's been doing it really well for years, and I have no reason to think it's not going to. So, you know, but
Are you on a system that's in tune with you though? Is that another
very
part
much.
of it?
It's a
Yeah,
completely like, so I wrote a book, a complete day trading system, and I
yeah,
published it in 22. And it is literally my system that I've designed from the ground up in every way, using my own statistical research, my own, you know, my own back testing, my own forward testing. So I have, for a lack of a better word, I have a lot of faith in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm willing to let it loose and
So
not touch it.
that's another part of what's really important, what people don't know. The system you build has to be aligned to you. It has to have, it's almost got to have your DNA on it. If
Mm,
it doesn't, it's going to be really hard for you to run it. And one of the biggest challenges for many people who learn a system from someone else is it's not theirs. Until they can adjust it or modify it to be theirs. And of course, it's almost impossible to prove that it works 100% forever.
sure.
Okay. But when it's aligned to you, you're more likely to trust yourself with it. And you're more likely to find little things then that you can add to it that bring part of you out into it. Or
Absolutely.
that, you know, for example, one of the systems I built many years ago when this was back in the 90s. And you know, we didn't have any of this fun stuff that you have here. I had to literally download data, um, clean it up, uh, readjust end dates. There were futures datas, readjust end dates, and bring it down to a single data series, and then test it on a spreadsheet. You know, just running multiple various. So I did that in the 90s, and I found a fantastic long-term system for me. But two things that happened. One, I knew I could never sit through the swings on this. It just didn't align with who I was.
Mm,
Okay. You know, and then second, you know, like I said, I was working for a bank. I was working for, you know, line managers, and I knew they could never sit with these swings either, even if I could. That the pressure they would put on me would make it impossible. So every system you have has to align to your situation, your context, and yourself. If you can create that kind of holy grail, then you can build a brilliant system.
I agree
Some people,
100% there. One of
yeah,
our trading coaches in here in BBT, Dr. V, that we have her on to talk. She talks about a recipe, and she's like, every one of us, like maybe your system you're getting from someone else is you're like a chef, right? But every chef
yeah,
has to have their own taste, right? Everyone's going to just
yes,
do a little bit of flavoring. Even if you're still baking a cake, the fundamentals are the same. Sure, 400 degrees, 30 minutes, this much, right? But still, maybe a little nutmeg, maybe a little vanilla. Like, what is it you're going to do to it that's going to make it yours so that you resonate it? And I think, kind of like you're saying, I think you should taste it, right? You should take some time and explore and see. Don't just commit to a strategy. Like, try it, give it a good try. But if you're struggling with it, be willing to recognize. Like, if your
yeah,
gut feels bad every time you use it, maybe you just don't like it.
yeah, yeah. And also, I say to people, don't just run the back test on it and look at the results. Walk through it. Go back
Yeah.
over the years and months and live it. Could you live
Hmm.
those moves? Could you live those things? Could you live those drawdowns? Sure, the results on aggregate may look great.
Huh.
Okay.
I, Steven, I don't think I've heard anybody say it like that again. See, every time we talk, you do this to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard anyone just say it that way. That's true. Don't just back test, don't just forward test, but actually go back in time and then replay forward through it and say,
Yeah.
if I was doing this, would I really feel comfortable sitting here as that happens? That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Actually,
Yeah,
pre-thinking the performance side.
really give that objective view like a chance to set in for you, of what was going on. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Ah, see, this is why we bring this guy on. This guy, I like that. I like that. That's smart. I like that a lot.
But this is it. This is, you are bringing yourself to this job, and everything you do, whether you're discretionary, whether you're fundamental, whether you're technical, whether you're system based, you know, it's you doing it, and it has to align with you. You have to be, you know, you have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable. That's the whole point.
Yes.
Okay. I know we talk about this comfort zone, but you know, you're out there putting yourself, making yourself vulnerable. Okay. And you have to do that. Like we say, you've got to put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. You do that in a way that you're comfortable with. That's the whole point. In the moment. Okay. I work with all these different traders, and they've all got different personality types, and I analyze their personality types, and I can see different types of traders in different groups that have their own edges because they've got a certain personality type. Some of them are brilliantly intuitive. Other ones are very structured and can sit, with lots of moving parts. Other ones very much rule-based.
Yeah.
Other ones love to just go off piece, and that's their edge, and can fight and be contrarian and go against the crowd.
I think
Okay,
this
and that's
fits
where they
like in
can,
here really good, Stephen. Like between like Andrew and I are a good example
yeah,
of this. In his pastime for fun, Andrew climbs mountains like Everest, like peaks, putting his whole person, his body, his mind, everything under extreme pressure. Me on vacation, warm beach, maybe a spiced drink, right? And not too big of waves. I don't even want the waves too big here, right? Like, but you could not see, like, even in our trading styles, but in personal styles, like such a different, so imagine why I don't trade like him, even though we're in the same community. He was one of my mentors, but I had to recognize working with him very early as I attempted to learn his strategy. Like, yeah, this is like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute, and I'm not really capable of that kind of fun. You know what I mean? I need something a little bit more ground level, maybe something with a little bit of a coconut drink. So let's just do that, right?
yeah. There you've nailed it. But even if and sometimes though, you can do both the same things, but you'll approach them differently. Okay, so I've seen people with different personality types doing the same thing, and the best example of this was actually there was a story of these two brothers who were motorcycle champions. Okay, they were British motorcycle. They were twin brothers, and this personality psychometric I use, someone tested it on them, and they had opposite personalities. Okay, one was what would be sort of considered as really laid back, really calm, generally very risk tolerant. Okay, very composed, and the other one was the opposite type, would probably be considered risk averse. Okay, very detailed, probably quite intuitive in that sense, in that there was an intensity to the way they did everything. And yet that second one, they'd have probably said, you're too risk averse to ride motorbikes around the track at 250 miles an hour with your knee barely brushing the ground. And yet this guy was a motorcycle world champion. So, but the difference was the way they both approached it. They
Right.
both approached how they did it in different ways. One approached it that he was much more laid back. He'd just turn up at a racetrack. He'd get on his bike and he'd just start riding around. The other one would turn at the racetrack and he'd walk the racetrack before he'd get on the bike. Okay. And he'd learn every bump and every corner and he had to know every bit of detail. Okay. And then once he was there, he'd get on his bike and he'd take it round as he would. And of course, the way they engaged with the engineers was different. One would fully trust the engineers. Here you go away, do that. The other one would sit with them for hours, going through every bit of detail, because he wanted to make sure that he knew the condition of the bike every time he was taking it out and what they'd done to it. So it wasn't to say that they couldn't both take big risk, but they both approached it differently.
Right. Absolutely.
In fact, so there are lots of different sort of aspects to this, to sort of bringing yourself to the job, the way you do it.
I mean, so over time, I really think that lines up with like some things I've read from like some of your, because I've seen talked about like thinking about like success really, one of the things I was thinking like does it come more from like a strict system or from adapting your own psychology and personality? That was one of the questions we got asked by our small group in here, and we basically just answered that. Right. I really think from the sounds of that, I think it's really important for you to recognize that you're going to need to adapt the system to fit your own personality. So
Yeah.
maybe even as you start to go into this process, before you even put your hand on a keyboard, you know what I mean? I like the idea of doing what you said there, of actually taking the system you're trying to learn. Like, let's say you want to learn Carlos's 5-minute ORB. Load up what that trade's supposed to be, and then go back and live through some trades in replay or in some kind of testing, but not just back test them, actually go back and live through them so that you can see before you even put in the effort, like, do I feel comfortable even being in this? Does this work for me? I think that would save a lot of people a lot of discovery time on this whole process if they just kind of go back and live it a little bit before they get too deep into it.
Yeah, or it also helps in that you can know that, and again, I don't know the ins and outs of each of these systems, but you can walk through it and actually see, wow, it's actually had 24 losers in a row,
Mm.
and yet it still made money. So if I get to that period of having a series of loss after loss after loss, you know that, that's just normal, or that's just going to happen sometimes. So that, you might have a summary that, you see that aggregate data. Oh yeah, the biggest run loss was 24 in a row. That doesn't mean the same as when you look at it and actually see when those 24 losses happened, and another day when it had 12 and another one at 15. And then you see that's that sort of seeing it. So when you're going through it, you're like, you can go back to that memory of what you looked at in the system.
Absolutely. No, that makes so much sense. I really like that. So as we start to kind of move into like the last, 8 minutes or so of our thing, is there anything everybody out there in YouTube would like to ask of our prolific author here? Anything that's really like you got, if there was one thing y'all could ask him, what would y'all want to ask? And I'll leave it out there. Make it good. What is neurodivergence? It's me. Question answered. So no, we just, neurodivergence is kind of like a catch-all term for, spectrum related things, whether it's like autism, ADD, ADHD, we just call it neurospicy, if you will.
I'm gonna let you into a little secret, okay? All right. And this was in one of the podcast interviews we did with somebody at a very large firm. And I won't mention the person or the firm because I don't want to give anything away. But this individual worked for one of the most successful trading firms going. And he's involved in doing a lot of training of the new traders when they come in. And we were talking about this subject on the podcast. And, he said, between me and you, often many of the best traders we get, best new traders we get, are the neurodivergent ones.
Mm.
Okay. And when we sent it to the company to listen back to it and approve it before we put it online, they said, can you remove this little bit of it? I said, why is that? And they said, because the regular guys don't want to hear that. The guys who weren't neurodivergent actually felt a little bit under pressure from that.
Man, it's a new world. It's not like high school. When I went to high school, that's for sure. In high school, everyone's like, "Oh, get that." It's so interesting in the divide. But I actually, like you're saying, I actually found my own particular way of looking at things. Like I actually do have a high aptitude for pattern recognition and these other kind of things. I was a musician actually going through school, so it kind of fit in line with that. I actually find stock trading and reading sheet music to actually be very similar.
We've had that with a lot of people from musical backgrounds, and they love the charts because for them they said it's just like reading between the lines on a musical sheet sometimes.
Right.
And it was quite amazing. But there is something about the autistic type and the ability to sort of anticipate stuff, and I call it being proactively reactive. in your trading, the ability to do that. And it becomes a super skill and edge. And I can't tell you how many fantastically successful traders I meet who are neurodivergent. And I do remember working at a trading company, a trading prop firm once, and they were describing the best trader in the firm, who I won't mention his name, and I've got to be careful because he's quite well known. That they described the way he executed as, a thing of beauty. They just can't understand it. And then he, revealed to me during one of our conversations that he had ADHD. And that was why it was a thing of beauty. And he said, I honestly didn't see the things that they were getting excited about. They didn't excite me, but I'd see stuff and they couldn't understand why I was getting excited about it. So you imagine if you're in a world where everyone's looking at the same thing and you see something different, how powerful that could be.
Yeah, it's certainly it's very fun. It's been a very big asset to me in trading, being seeing things different. Aspect in life, not always, because you're always seeing stuff a little bit different, but it works out really well. And then someone in the room here was actually asking about some bio information on you. They want to know the podcast name, so we got to make sure we drop the deets. So Alpha Mind
Okay.
is the podcast. We just had an episode drop, so you can see here I'm already halfway through it. So he just had an episode drop recently on October 1st. So make sure you're going on to all your major, your streaming platforms out there and making sure you're subscribing to the Alpha Mind podcast. Also,
We should
don't
get
forget
you on there. We should get you on there too.
I'd love to come on anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah. We've had Andrew on there in the past, so
Yeah, I'd love to
we've
come
had a
on.
couple of you guys in the past actually. So Brian was on there once. So
Oh, how fun. The prophet of profit.
yeah.
I love that guy. But yeah, anytime we could definitely talk neurodivergence and stock trading on there for sure. That'd be a fun one. Get a little neurospicy. But yeah, anytime you want to hang out, I'd love that. But there was let's see, you've got one or two. Let's see if we can pick one more. I'm only about a year into day trading and have years of training to go. I'm concerned about the impact of AI on trading. Will it make retail traders obsolete? I think that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think it's more of a it's fascinating because if I go back to, I'm going to go back many, many years, 1986, probably before most of you were born. Okay, that's when I started in my first experience in a trading room. Okay, and I just joined this bank as a young trader. We didn't really have prop firms in those days, or you had to go into a trading company like a bank, or in fact, that was pretty much all there was. Certainly where I lived in London, you had more. You had exchanges as well, which is kind of the only other option. And I picked up the newspaper. That was something we used to have in those days. We didn't have the internet. If you wanted to know anything, you had to pick
This
up a
random
newspaper.
paper that just got thrown on your doorstep.
And I'm reading it on the way home from work, and it's saying, "Oh, traders are going to be obsolete soon. There's all these new things called algorithms and computers, and we didn't even have PCs in those days." Okay,
quants come in.
We forget quants. We had little handheld calculators where we had to do calculations, and I just want to let you know what it was like in a trade room. The walls were covered in charts. People drew their charts by hand, and they were held out all along the room. There was no live charts like this. Okay, to try imagining that. But this was saying, "Oh, there's going to be computers are going to take over soon, and there won't be any traders left." That was 1986. Okay, and since then we've had the rise of algorithms and computer-driven trading. In fact, that was already happening then. Okay, it was.
If anything, retail's more active today than ever. I mean, the numbers on retail trading are on the move. So
yeah, I mean, and well, you're gonna have AI bulls and AI bears. And the thing is that the market is always reinventing itself. Okay, and I always remember traders in the 90s. We used to call it the algos, the guys who had computerized trading. Oh, the algos are taking over. I can't make money anymore. Well, here you guys are nearly 30 years later. Okay. And you're still doing it.
Yeah, now we just read the order book and watch the algos, right? So
Well, yeah,
now part of what Nathan and I do is we actually watch to see how the algorithm handles bid and ask requests. You know, if you're buying, you can see it, do it.
but that's just a modern version of what, Jesse Livermore was doing 100 years ago.
Exactly.
It's no
Jesse
different.
Livermore, one of
Reading
my
it.
favorite. I
Yeah.
love Jeff Livermore.
We
Wyckoff and
used to call it,
Livermore.
yeah, we used to call it reading the tape in those days.
Yep.
It's always, and he used to do it with this this tape coming out, literally a tape with dots on it. That sort of, the market is always going to be there. There's always going to be opportunities to find profits, to arbitrage it, to see patterns. Humans trade the markets. All AI is doing is it's trying to read humans, and people are trying to, can you find a formula for me? So maybe it's just reinventing itself a little bit more quickly, or a lot more quickly. Okay. But humans are going to make errors because that's what we do. Okay. It's always going to remain a giant game of poker. And you've got to learn how to play it. And you've got to learn how to manage yourself when you're playing it, which is the behavioral side of it.
Yep. That's the edge. That is the edge. It's actually the behavioral side. That's where your edge truly will be.
Well, if you think about a game of poker, right? There's what, 8 people sit around a table. Okay. Everyone knows the rules, right? Everyone gets dealt the cards randomly. Okay. There's only a few strategies to play. That's pretty quick and easy to learn them. Okay. So who wins? The behavioral champions win.
Yes.
Okay. The ones who can master that side of the game. I've worked with some incredible traders who were poker players of various types. Gamers are another great example. Okay. There's a lot of guys who are learning trading by learning various gaming forms of gaming now. But it's the one who can stay focused, stay on process, align themselves best to the way they're playing it. All these aspects, let go. And also learn to like yourself. I haven't even gone to that yet. Okay. You've got to learn to like yourself when you're playing this game, because this game is going to turn you in against yourself all the time. That's how they win. They win by getting you to hate yourself, getting you to beat yourself up, getting yourself to mess yourself up in the head, getting you to not to be able to recover from when you mess yourself up on the head. Okay. That's what they want you to do. So you've got to learn to stay on top of that. And one of that is you've got to learn to like yourself. You've got to learn to value yourself. Okay. You've got to learn to realize that, you have something. Okay. And then to be able to bring that to what you do. That's the hard part. That's the vague stuff, but that's the stuff that you have to master if you're going to win at this game.
Wow. Yeah. So everybody, I don't know what we could do better than that to call this a show. Steven Goldstein, masterful as always great, like listening to you. Everyone, make sure you check out his socials. Make sure you grab a copy of his book, and we really appreciate all coming by and hanging out. And then Nathan, thanks for bringing Steven on. And Steven, thanks so much for hanging with us, man.
Brian, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That's brilliant. I wish you well. Good luck to everyone out there, because it's, you'll deserve it.
We appreciate you, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
All right. See everybody out there in YouTube. Much love. We hope you all have a great rest of your trading day, and we will see you all on tomorrow. So have a good one, and we'll see you then.